All right, Ben, you should be good. And I'll start the stream together thing. Wait, this thing allows viewer call-ins? Have you seen that?
What thing?
The stream together thing? There's an option.
They've added viewer call-ins now.
Yeah, it says start viewer call-ins. We might have to test that out.
Nah, but I would rather do like a Discord stage.
Yeah.
I think Discord stage functionality is like way better. If I do a prize picks.
All right, accept that, and then make sure you're pushing. Starting here in a couple minutes. Let me tweet this out real quick. Oh, let me share that.
When the elite is Magic, the elite dates, all the elite dates are already on the website, bro. The league has published the date of every single Challengers Cup and every single Challengers Elite stage. So we go over to Challengers, go on down up here, sorry, to Challengers Elite. You scroll down here. The schedule for every split is right here. I think I know where Rafi can't connect, but
he can't connect to TeamSpeak?
Yeah, but I think he's putting an HTTP. I think the way that he copied the link is like he's doing a mistake that a lot of people make. So I need it. When I send people like the link with like the URL, which I'm not going to say out because I want to leak the TS, but like, yeah, no, he's doing exactly what he's done.
All right. Yeah, let me know when you send it all over, and then we can start. What up, YOLO? Yeah, I guess we do this at 9 a.m. West Coast, huh? That's perfect time.
Yeah. But it's the best way to do it because otherwise, like everybody gets on it too, and there's 95 things going on, and like then he's yelling at Challengers players, and fucking Tommy's yelling at Challengers players, and there's gonna be a lot of drama also too. Like especially because I think people one thing I'm curious about today is what Challengers teams look like when they get on in scrim because there's a Challengers Rostermania last night, so it's unclear.
Yeah, I don't know anything. You're gonna have to fill me in and talk about it. Well, I saw a couple of people. Like I saw the rumors about Bush, which we'll talk about. I don't know what's up with them. I think there's some people potentially that have got on teams already. Who knows? We'll talk about it.
Yo, Rafi, can you hear us?
Yo.
He's probably gotta set up his audio real quick.
All right, Ben, get your shit squared away on your end.
Yeah, you live right now?
Yep, I'm live, and I sent you the together thing, and you can just copy and push it.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me explain my chat. It's gonna work.
Set up too. Okay. My boy Rafi never used TeamSpeak before. Yeah, he's never used TeamSpeak before. He just messaged me.
You want to switch to Discord?
Yeah, we can switch to Discord. What cord?
Is your cord is Flaker's boosted? Like is the auto quality good?
No. What other cord? You can just make a call.
No, sound quality's not that good, huh? People getting double audio.
User disconnected from your channel.
You guys are getting double audio right now?
Technical difficulties.
I know why, chat. 1 second. You should not have double audio now. It should be fixed, chat. Why don't we just use we're gonna just use ZOOMA cord, as Bo said.
Ready? Go over there. I think I have that. Yeah, dude. The Zoomafia one?
Yeah, let's run live with ZOOMA.
Yo, yo.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yo.
Yo, yo.
Yep.
All right.
I'm so sorry, my kings. I don't know how to use TeamSpeak. I guess I'm like 90 years old.
That guy is a boomer. What up, Rafi? Thank you for doing this, bro. Good.
What's good, man? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, Ben, you all good?
Yeah, I am good to go whenever. Oh, did you send that watch together link?
Yeah, I did. Whoa, watch together?
Or the like stream together link, sorry.
Yeah, but mine never works, remember? So like I sent it, but it just doesn't pop up sometimes.
Yeah, I got it. Here.
My shit's bugged, bro.
I'm sending the invite link.
It should just pop up on my Twitch, right?
It's easier to do it this way. This is the meta. Like go to the chat for this channel and just use that link.
Oh.
The invites are bugged, so that's what everybody does is you just do the invite link.
Oh. Join a new session. Oh,
now we can do the combo chat, start sharing chat,
there. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Am I good? Did I share? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good whenever.
All right.
Is audio low? And I think your audio is a little bit low going out to Twitch.
What audio? Like Discord?
No, like your actual stream audio sound is really low.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
All right, we'll fix that. I don't know how that's possible. Are you sure?
What do you see on OBS? Are you?
I mean, everything's good. Yeah, my chat's saying everything's good. No, it's not. It's probably you.
I have it turned all the way up. Let me make sure. I don't have like sound out at 100 on.
I can see everything and it looks good. Here, Rafi, can you talk real quick?
Yep.
I will say, Ben,
Check
your mic is also
good.
Yeah, you're good, Rafi. I would say your mic is also kind of quiet, Ben, because I have you on 120 and you're still a little low.
What about now? Is it a little bit better?
Oh, you're good now. To me.
Ben, let's golf virtues this summer. Yeah, invite me and Ann. What?
Yeah,
Ann
I'm with it.
Virtues.
Get it.
Hey,
Rafi,
and I are so down.
Rafi, you golf?
I haven't in some time. I was supposed to with you guys this summer, but BenJ's the worst about following up.
All right, well, all right, let's get this started. All right, guys, welcome to the Codcast, episode 2. Last week, you guys showed a lot of love. We really appreciate it. The thumbs up on the YouTube, showing up in chat. We got some cool things planned for you guys. We got a great episode 2. The COD community's on fire, honestly. You guys have been lit. The people that are in here, especially live, you guys are the diehards, and that's why we do this. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, Ben, obviously, he's a good friend of Rafi. You guys know Rafi from OMiT. He's had a ton of success and challengers. We're bringing him in to talk to him a little bit. There's been a lot going on with his team. They've had a lot of success already early on. So we're going to talk to Rafi a bit. Let me pull this up. Just congratulate you, man, on the cup number 2. You guys had a good run, dude. Obviously, fall down to losers, win that losers final, and then take the chip. You guys are officially on the radar. I'm going to be watching you guys, checking you guys out, and going through your journey. Talk to me about this team, bro. Like, how'd this team come together, and how did you find Alluka?
Yeah. So I think for the past 3 years that we've been in the pit, all 3 years we've been in grand finals at champs. We've won, I think last year was probably the most dominant year where we won every cup, just about. We won every elite. We won every major except for the Miami Home Depot one. So like, it was a situation where, like, you know, we try to ignore as human beings. We try to ignore what's said on Reddit, but everyone's like, oh, all Rafi does is recycle ex-pros, right? So I said, okay, let me continue to keep in mind of the 11, I think maybe 12 players that we promoted to the CDL. I think at least 4 or 5 of them got their first crack through our program. And we're not taking credit for that. We're not sitting here saying that we're spawning in for them. We're not the ones moving the joysticks and the thumbs, right? But we do set up a good foundation, a good system, and get them locked in. I think you see a wide array of kids with different dreams, different passion points, and different drive to get into the league. And we try to cultivate a really good environment of focus on winning, focus on growing as men and growing as teammates, and the rest of it will happen, right? Because most of people can actually shoot straight, right? Like, that's not the issue. I think a lot of it is mental down here. A lot of it is desperation, and it breeds a lot of negativity, right? As you're running through the challengers pit to try and get one of those coveted 12 spots in the CDL. So it's worked for us. Like I said, three years in the pit. All 3 years we've been in grand finals of champs. Last year we had OMiT versus OMiT, and the proof is in the pudding when it comes to that.
No,
so
yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and that's good. I mean, a lot of these guys sometimes, they get brought up and they won't, be ready to watch VOD all the time, or their practice won't be the best. So I think it's good that you pair them with like vets sometimes so they can get ready for like that next level. And that's why I think, like, from you guys, a lot of the players that do come up find success. I think that's important, what you said there. But Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, you're asking if I have more questions?
Yeah, we're just gonna keep it going, keep it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, so I think let's talk about kind of the news are kind of floating around the scene right now. Obviously, one of your players really popped off this weekend. I know he came in for Eric Boom over the course of last weekend, and then Alluka, the player we're talking about, absolutely fried in front of thousands of people this weekend. So, like, give us a context on, like, kind of, when he first came on your radar, how he kind of ended up under OMiT, and, like, there's obviously a lot of interest around him right now. So just kind of let us know sort of where some of that's at.
And for you guys watching while he gets into this is them playing in the last cup, and this is Alluka frying. If you missed it, kid was an absolute monster. But go ahead, Rafi.
Yeah, for sure. So we cracked into what we have coined OMiT Academy, where we basically try to find the next up and coming talent, right? A lot of people don't know this, but Lurks, Abe, and Merc were all part of said program. It runs deep. It's part of like what we've done.
You talk about like U18 players, Rafi?
Yeah, so like the U18, kind of like the local LAN, circuit of sending them to locals so that they get those jitters out of the way and competing in local LANs. A lot of these kids get accused of cheating too, so it's almost like, okay, well, you can do it online. Go show that you can do that at a local LAN in Columbus, right? So, I think Tommy's probably the only other one down here that puts in that level of effort of scouting and like trying to find and put on talent from the U18 circuit on up. Alluka did go through OMiT Academy for the past year. We found him through just like the SND scene in the EU space. My girlfriend Kels is also heavily involved in the EU space, and we knew about Alluka coming up of like, okay, is this kid hacking? Like, he is just raw. He's just insane. And if you know what OMiT has kind of come from, has been the success of finding kids that are really good at S&D and teaching them respawn after, right? The Evan Purges, the Snoopies that have been on OMiT, where it's like, hey, they've only been playing respawn for X amount of time. Merc was the exact same way. He had been playing respawn for, I think, maybe 3, 4, 5 months. He had 250K accumulated on S&D CMG stuff, and he loved S&D. Like, he just reaped S&D. So, like, that's kind of what it is that we focus on, is if they have the fundies and they know how it is that they want to look at a map and they know how to break down S&D as a mode, then respawn is a little bit easier to pick up. And it's worked with Merc, and it's going to work with Alluka, and that's what we're seeing.
So Rafi, so you're saying, so you guys have like, you're paying attention to everything, like all the local lands and like the under 18 kids. So you have them. So who's all working on that? Like, trying to figure out like who's next or who can be developed. Like, who do you work with on that? I know you said your girl, and then I forget. I think you said somebody else.
That's really it. It's me and Kels kind of like, we don't really have like a lead anymore. Like my GM Sloshy just came back. He's helped me kind of like build rosters in the past, here and there, but it's really what it is that I've been doing for time the past 3 years is like, how is it that we can scout them? How is it that we can prepare them for the next step? Do they have it? Do they not? And we've struck out a lot. There's been, players that unfortunately just haven't blossomed, or we just haven't done the right kind of like team makeups, and then they're in the blender. Like, I'm not saying we're 100% at all, but more often than not, people leave the academy or into challengers with a bit more of an upgraded experience, or where it is that they're not so wide-eyed, right? We're talking about branding. We're talking about pushing social media, talking about, okay, have consistent user, something as simple as, okay, what's your Twitch handle? What is your Twitter handle? Why aren't they the same? What does your stream look like? All of that type of hand-holding that needs to happen a little bit at the beginning while they're growing. And yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Well, you guys have done a good job so far. Go ahead, Ben.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I was about to say, so like, I think again, there's no people that follow challengers who know that you guys have done a good job of identifying that talent. Again, getting them once they're 18 eligible, working them into some of the teams, elites, lands, and then from there, guys get picked up. So I think in particular for Alluka, there's been a lot of momentum over the last 48 hours in regards to him taking the next step. And this obviously resulted in you sort of tweeting the timeline that, like, you were going to work with him to make sure he goes to the right spot. So kind of like, where is that process at with him right now?
Without saying too much, I think it's actually heavily advanced for some conversations. Some initial conversations still need to be had, but I'm not afraid to say that half the league has reached out with interest in this player.
Wait, hold on. When you say half the league, couple teams, or do you legitimately mean like half the league has reached out?
6 of 12 teams in the CDL have shown interest in Alluka.
I'm actually pretty shocked that there's 6 teams.
I'm not mind blown.
Wow.
Wow, mind blown. Wow. How are you mind blown, Ant?
I'm just like, I would expect, maybe three teams, but 6 is a lot. I mean, if you go look at the standings, I mean, all right. We kind of surmise who it would be.
But hold on. I'm going to answer the question for you. Follow-up question, Rafi. Do you think a lot of these approaches are more about, hey, we want to get this person on our roster as a substitute, and less about we want to get them in the starting lineup now?
I think it's a mixed bag. I wouldn't have tweeted that without context of like, I don't like sending my players to situations where I know that they're going to come back down to the challengers, period. And if I've seen some of the decision makings that the GMs have made as far as roster makeup, you saw the slow motion car accident that was about to happen, right? That was what I was alluding to. And this kid has dropped everything, left his family in Europe, and moved over to America. And he's showing out, and he got the dash GPR. He got the.
He got some great optic
PR. Like, let's be honest, you don't get that all the time.
Yeah, that was premium. That's premium gas.
It was about to happen, and it happened, right? So now it's a situation where we want him to go to the best situation possible, and we're very close with the conversations with him as well. Anything that we talk to with organizations, we run by him, and how does he feel? How's he doing? What is he interested in? Of course, he's going to have his dream organization, right? So we keep all of that in mind, and that's what happens. Like, so he's got lightning in a bottle, and he's going to land in an ideal situation where he's not going to get crucified, where he's 18 years old, expected to fix a program. And
so my thing, Rafi, I understand like what you're saying, and a lot of it I agree with. My thing is like, who are you identifying as just like straight up the bottom 4 teams? You know what I mean? Because all those situations aren't equally as bad. And then also we've seen players go to teams that completely turn the program around. So I think like, did you mean this like with the bottom 4, or were you just more so alluding to like Surge, I guess? My question.
It's way too early to be calling, besides a couple, I guess, organizations the bottom of a team or bottom of a league.
I mean, I agree. That's why
I'm saying like from even a roster maker perspective. Again, I think it's now 25, maybe 27% of the CDL was on OMiT before they got into the CDL. Right. So we know these players in and out. We know the player makeups, and we can see where it is that it's like, okay, that team's going to struggle. They're going to call us. They're going to try and pick up one of our players. It happened 11, 12 times last season. Right. So that's how it is that we kind of outline it. If I named a bottom 4, it would be extremely biased and not fair to any team or player because we've only played 3 games. It's not, I'm not naming specific 4. I think that I can honestly talk about it, maybe a trajectory of who's not getting to chance.
I mean, I think the message is clearer than I understand the message. I think the bottom 4, I think you probably got a lot of pushback on that recently. I was definitely one of them, but I think I understand your message. Like in it, after you saying like, yeah, he came all the way over here. I mean, taking care of the player is important, right? You want to make sure he gets in a good spot where he can like develop in his future. He's taking a big risk. I mean, coming from a different country. So I understand that, but the bottom 4 thing, I don't know, because easily some of these guys could change up their whole trajectory of their season. I mean, right now, G2's.
I mean, it happened with Neptune. Exactly, it was a hard conversation with Travis last season when we moved him to his roster, and he completely flipped that program around, like the entire fucking year. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I was like, "You sure you want to do this? Because you haven't had a chance since subliners, and if you flop here, you could be done, Travis. Like you could be done." And he goes, "I believe in myself. I'm betting on myself." I said, "Bet." Let's fucking do it. And he went and did amazing things, right? And there's other players that haven't had that luxury, right? I don't think Fellow had the best environment at all last season, right? He's right back with us.
Yeah, it happens to him a lot.
Hasn't had the chance to fucking go up and show himself since Mutineers.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, what's the development with him? So what's the development with him? Like, are there people reaching out for him as well?
For who?
For Brack.
I would say Carson Brack is the best player in Challengers right now, and for some reason he's got this he's slow DNA that's just not true. Like if you actually watch that kid's arrow, he is fucking disgusting, and whoever decides to take a chance on him as an OG and as a leader, what he's done for the boys, Nate and Alluka, both 18, him and Tyler are just like the perfect fucking pairing because they're mature. They know how to lead, and they don't check out. I have nothing but amazing things to say about every player on the team.
What about I know a player that you picked up that's just popping off this year is like Nate. You know, what are your thoughts on him?
Nate, I said Nate. So we signed, and this is what people. I love how people on Reddit were like, "Oh, he just got into OMiT a week ago." That's not true. We're Nate was also part of the academy team. So was Hyde. For the past year and a half, they've both been on OMiT. Actually, all 3 of them have been on OMiT. So
Tommy's complained about that quite a bit on stream because he's been circling those players as well. But go ahead.
He called me he's like, "Listen, I'm not going to step on your toes, but these are the players I want." I said, "I'm sorry, they're off limits. They're already signed. Like they've been in the program. They're not leaving. I want to see, like me and Tommy kind of go back and forth on that. And I love Tom because he's been extremely supportive. I have nothing but respect for Tom. So regardless, he didn't just come a week ago. Neither did Nate, right? So we wouldn't have signed those guys to OMiT and invested in them monetarily or what we're going to do as far as travel goes if we didn't think that they were league material, right? That's what the entire premise of the academy program is. So Nate is next up. People will wake up to that and Hyde, I think, needs to step it up a bit. Unfortunately, he got to go with Carson and Fellow, but it didn't work out. Eric Boom got picked up instead. Eric Boom is gone. These changes happen in challengers like it's fucking changing your underwear, right? Like every fucking day there's conversations of who's in, who's out. So
we'll get to Bush is going to be dealing with that for the first time, I think, this week. So.
Yeah. They were taking Bush.
But your read on Nate is like he's definitely talented. Do you think like
he's super raw?
You think the CDL team will take a chance on him?
Oh, how old is he?
Early this year? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I'll leak. There's already been 2 CDL teams that have called about Nate.
Oh,
jeez.
How old is Nate?
Nate's 18.
Oh, man. It's young.
Wait, so
kids are young.
Hold on, like called as in, we want him in the starting lineup, or like...
call this in. We're interested in your player. What is it going to take to get it done? We don't ask about
these teams are active, man.
Well, they have to be.
They have to be right now. Yeah.
How many teams fumbled on Mercules last year?
And Neptune. And when you think about it, like the next, we were talking about this yesterday, and I know you're aware, Rafi. Like the next split is the most important split of the entire season. You play every single team, and then there's like a play-in to even make it in once you get to land for the other two teams. So this split, I mean, people are going to be active. Your inbox is going to be blowing up this whole holiday break, brother.
And that's all right. I think a big thing is we've never held a player back. I think we've moved a total of, Gwyn, Purge, Yeez, and GodRx were our first champs grands winners back in 2023. All of that has been a situation where, like, I think we've moved a total of almost 20 players since we've come into the pit, and we've worked with almost every single organization.
That's ridiculous.
So like it's happened and we've done it. So there's no such thing as like holding our players back or there's problems with the contract. The one issue that we had was with Exceed, and me and him squashed it like men. We duked it out at champs where we ended up winning there as well, and that's it. We move on.
Cool. Is there anyone else you think in the scene right now, if they're 18 eligible in the scene that you want to co-sign? Anyone U18 you think people should start getting their eyes on as far as future CDL talent?
Yeah, some deep sleepers. What you got for us, Rafi?
Let's move that into U21 versus U18. I think the 18-year-olds really are Hyde, Alluka, and Nate. For 21-year-olds, I would say Neum is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, he's
good, man.
I tried to sign Neum. We kind of danced around with the idea. He really wanted to play with Fellow this year. And then Zin, obviously, GM'd his way into picking him up. I think that was a great pickup.
No way, you're getting circles running around you by fucking Zinny, man.
He's battling with Tom and Zin, bro.
How politics by Zin, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, apparently, man. Neum is great. I think he gets a look into the league this year. If I'm talking about players outside of the program, right? Obviously, Carson and Tyler are still 1 and 2 for me. But beyond that, I wouldn't talk about anybody else at the current moment that I've looked at.
So, go ahead, Ben.
I'm about to say I'm gonna throw one name out there as always, and I talk about my stream, Yusuf, bro. He's
on the come up.
Brother, he's on the academy team for OMiT. Like,
okay, well,
this guy's just got everybody. He just signs everyone.
We got Yusuf locked already. Goddamn, bro. All right.
Already on OMiT Brooklyn Academy. I'm sorry if this is the fucking announcement. We've been leaking so much, but we have Yusuf Wandel. Keep an eye on Wandel. He's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skill is another one. So like we already have the next upcoming crop, like U18 COD League. Keep them, check them out.
So basically, what you're saying is, as all these guys come into the CDL, you got talent bank, bro. You're ready. OMiT's ready and locked and loaded going forward.
We're locked and loaded, man. We're just like, listen. It's just about setting the right precedent and hoping that.
Yeah.
If when you turn off your PC, you turn off your console, right? Be a good person after that, right? Like, say what you need to say, talk shit, do whatever in DMs, but just remember that life is more than just the fucking video game. How is it that OMiT can help you become actual grown-ass men? I don't care about a lot. Just be a good person. Don't cut corners. Don't fucking cheat. Don't scam. Pay people your money if you lose, and just do that, bro. Like, we all put on our pants the same way every fucking morning. If you keep that as a mentality, then you'll end up okay, right? Like,
absolutely.
How can we be a part of these young men's journeys? That's all that we want to see.
So, Rafi,
happen.
I don't know if well said, by the way, and I agree with all that. I don't know if you can answer this, but is it safe to say Alluka and Nate will be on CDL teams when we get to the other side of this break? Is there a high likelihood of that?
A very high likelihood. Guarantee Alluka is. Nate, I think there's some stipulations that need to be ironed out, but the revolving door on our team is definitely going to happen. Working on Carson and Fellow next.
Man, Rafi dropping some bombs, man. Hey, man, good luck in Challengers. You guys are doing some great things, and Challengers is lit this year, dude. I would say this is probably, I've been around forever. This is probably the most tapped in I've been in Challengers in a while because the storylines are awesome. Some great organizations down there, and the talent is actually being developed, and a lot of that is credit to guys like you. So Keep it going, man. You're doing a lot for the esport.
Listen, I appreciate you calling me out. I appreciate you keeping me honest. And like you said, that's an absurd take. Ben does the same thing. It's not like he fucking dick rides at all. Like, he just messages me and tells me I'm being a fucking idiot. When I'm being one, keep me humble. I like that. Just know that no one's gonna outwork me down here, and it's all in the premise of, okay, let's keep promoting the next generation talent and let's keep it moving. I don't care about feelings.
Yeah, we've never really had extended conversations, but I could tell from the message and you, the fact that you even brought up like he's come from a different country. I want to make sure this is the right situation for him. It is a very important decision, and when you put that element in it, it makes sense why you tweet that, because there was some emotion coming through in the tweet, which I didn't necessarily agree with initially, and now I understand your perspective. So yeah, thank you for clearing that up, and yeah, good luck, man, going forward, my guy.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate the content. Keep it up, and we'll see you guys. Yeah,
go follow Rafi on Twitter. Always dropping bombs. OMiT Rafi, all one word, right?
Yep.
Appreciate you.
All right, take it easy, Rafi.
Take it easy. Later.
That's a good guy, man.
Some good intel. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've known Rafi for a couple of years now, and I think he really cares about, because he understands his role in the system, right? They're not a CDL franchise.
Yeah.
But they understand that they have an ability to develop people and get people in the right spots. And I think, again, his tweet, I think he just wants to make sure his guys don't go to the league and end up in a fuck situation,
Yeah.
And I think that's what came through in the tweet. So I'm glad we're able to get him on and kind of talk through the process. And I think for some of y'all, definitely he dropped a couple of info nuggets that I'm sure people like Ronnie and other people in the scene are chasing. We'll get news on.
I am baffled that you tried to act like you weren't surprised that 6 people hit up. 6 is a lot, man.
4. I don't think it's that crazy. Think about
that's crazy, bro.
It's really not, though.
All right, so let's
explain why it's not.
Here, Ben. Let's talk me and you. Okay, so let's go through the teams. Let's go with everybody.
We'll go through the teams, but I'm telling you, a lot of these teams. Listen, I've said for years, and you know this, since year one of the CDL, because I got super tilted about how people use a substitute role. People do not use that roster spot correctly in their org. And I think a lot of these teams will go through and they'll be like, you know what? Them getting Alluka, and maybe he's not going to play this cycle, but if he wants to go here, he'll have a chance after major one.
Hold on. Pause. Everything that Rafi just told us and talked to us about, you think he's going to send Alluka up to be a substitute player somewhere? That's a non-starter conversation, because basically what he just told me is that's something he's not going to do. But
he's saying, though, hypothetically, there might be an org or two that Alluka would love to join, and he's willing to play a development role for now because that's the team that he wants to be on. I think he worded that very specifically.
That's arguably the worst thing for him to do right now is go up and be a substitute player, bro. I don't.
Well, I agree. He should be playing on a CDL team and not being a sub. I agree with that.
Yeah. But 6, I'm surprised, bro, because that's going to include a team that people are.
We can guess the 6. It's not that hard. Ready? Vancouver for sure.
Yep. Carolina
for G2. I think you can argue is probably in the mix there. T9.
Okay, 4.
Boston Breach, I think, would be 5.
Okay, even that's all right. Then who? Somebody on Boston just got nervous.
Anyone else for one of the 6? 100 Thieves.
Okay, so then any of the other Toronto. 6 options is ideal then, because all those are good teams.
6. We see. Yeah, but you're mind blown at 6, and you see how we get to 6 in 3 seconds.
To me, then that must mean it's Thieves, bro. Because I don't see it being Optic, Gentlemates. I don't see it being Koi. It's not Riyadh. So to me, that's all I'm saying. I mean, just deductive reasoning. Could you imagine if Thieves made that change right now? That would be insane.
Yeah, so you and I were talking about this yesterday. We had a whole big giant call, blah, blah, blah. I think the Thieves situation is the most obvious top team situation that he could benefit from, right? Because at the moment you look at their team, yes, they've won some series, in the preseason and now in the league. It's not like they're 0-3, but you're watching the gameplay and it's not great. And I think it's clear that the weakest slaying player on the team is Ken. The other 2 players aren't all frying. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a full 3-on-4 going on. But they could pack a punch Ken and it would increase their skill ceiling probably a decent amount. It would cause other problems to solve.
I hear you.
But I see the thought process, Go ahead.
So we'll get to the Thieves talk. We'll dive back into this. But I just thought that was a crazy nugget drop by Rafi. Yeah. And then the Nate one as well. The fact that both those guys might be coming up already is, one, insanely awesome for both those young kids.
The Nate one's crazy to me, but Nate is good though.
It's awesome for both those young kids and awesome for the league. But Ben, let's pause there. I don't want to keep going there because we're gonna get into a second.
We'll say that. We got plenty to talk about.
We got to talk about Telluride Bush and what the hell's going on, because I have no intel. I don't know. You're gonna have to talk to me about this. So Challengers Intel tweeted T-Bush roster chalk to scrim that was supposed to happen against a 5 Fears team 19 hours ago. Make with that information what you will. Jersey Jerry replies, "What the hell's going on?" And then I guess like during that same time span or whatever, Jacob Hale tweets he's back, which a lot of people said that meant TJ Halley. So what the hell's going on, Ben? Talk to people.
BenJ angle here.
Yes,
so
BenJ Intel. Let's hear it.
Let's go pre-context, right? Bush did not play great the last cup. There was a Spark tweet that was sent on the timeline on Sunday, which might be one of the all-time stupidest tweets I've ever seen.
Well. Before we did get context to that yesterday. We got context. The context of the Spark tweet. One, it's a bad tweet. I agree. But the context was apparently that they couldn't scrim because their teammate was getting hit offline. So
then get Byron, then fly Byron to a different spot so we can play. That's the whole point of being signed to Barcelona.
Definitely fair.
So like that's not a valid excuse for me, but whatever. Like,
I mean, how's it not valid though? His teammate's getting hit off. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, so okay, so like I'm gonna give you shout out Falcons. You know Asen's my boy. Asen's, I don't know if y'all know this, but if you play this game and you play on Texas servers and you live in the East Coast, you know that sometimes the connection at Texas server is not great right now in this game. You get massive packet bursts and Lancy spikes. And Asen was having issues with that. And Falcon said, come down to Dallas for as long as you need. Asen's been in Dallas for a couple of weeks now, kind of working through that. Like, it's not, Barstool's got resources, bro. If Byron's having issues practicing, they could have they could have Byron go to Chicago and scrim out of the Chicago office, get him a setup there.
That is true. They do have a big ass Chicago office. You could have won it.
It's a solvable problem, is all I'm saying.
All right, I hear you on that. I hear you on that.
To me, if they were not being supported, if they didn't have an org back behind them, okay, but they have an org. Like, so not a valid issue for me, but whatever. Right. Context is Bush didn't play that great last weekend. They got top 8. Vancouver, obviously, it looks like Legends rotating out. If you go to Breaking Point, there was a Ronnie article yesterday.
Yeah, I'm pulling that up right now.
BenJ has been officially announced by Vancouver as well at this point that he is gone. The article suggests that they are looking at Alluka, but obviously they can't get Alluka. TJ would be next on the list. And basically what Rafi just said in our interview with him, it doesn't sound like Alluka's going there. So I think that's where Keej is potentially going to be on Vancouver search.
It makes sense to me too, and that's kind of was my prediction because obviously the TJ and Gwyn connection, they played pretty well with each other. And then the announcing of Legend going back down to Challengers, which we can talk about a little bit now as well. He was just brought in way too early. And if you're going to bring in a guy early like that, there has to be players around him that can kind of carry him so he can hide a bit until he gets like more developed. And I'll say, I think that this is good for Legend, bro. Like, his stock didn't get destroyed to the point where it's like people are going to be extremely hesitant to bring back up if he's frying in Challengers. Like, everybody knows that like he played a couple of weeks, showed a couple flashes of like individual skill, and he just hasn't developed a bit. So I think we'll see Legend back if he has some success in Challengers in the next couple of months. But I think that this was a timely move by the Surge. Honestly, they should have never picked him up in the first place, in my opinion. But I think you saw somebody in their organization tweeted like, "Damn," I think it was Ricky Atur. He's like, "Damned if you do, damned if you don't." It's a hard situation, but it had to happen. He was getting slammed, bro.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talked about, on the flank, we did some tier lists kind of preseason. We talked about sort of this team because for the beginning of Rostermania, the Vancouver rumor was, obviously Abuza and 04 and Neptune and Byron, like they're gone, Ray's gone, like they're starting fresh. And the rumor was they were getting that full OMiT roster that played pretty good at EWC. So it was Reese, Mac, so Vivid and Mackenzie Mac, and Mamba and Craze. Like that was going to be the team. And it sounds like, based on also Ricky Atur's interview, that was definitely being discussed. But option 2 was this Lunars, Legend, Gwyn situation. And I guess that's where they decided to go, which is mind-blowing to me. And they felt like, okay, well, we surround Legend with these other talented guys. We're patient. We figure it out. The problem is then, as we've discussed in CDL, you start 0-3 and you get 12th. You have 0 CDL points or 10 CDL points.
Yeah.
you have 2 bad stages in the CDL. You're not qualifying for champs.
If you have a bad stage 2, you're on top of the stage. A bad stage 1, you're done. Stage 2 is so important. There's just so many matches. So like this was necessary for Surge, and also just like for the players around. Like your star is Gwyn, and he was already mentally breaking, bro. 3 matches in. But yeah, I think. Do you think this makes them like a lot better? Because I do. I think it makes them a lot better. Putting TJ on this team.
I don't. Here's the thing. Does it make them not the 12th best team anymore? Probably, because I think TJ's playing pretty good in this game. TJ's a natural sub player, can also theoretically pull an AR. TJ's going to give them a lot in search. He's been great in Challenger Scene S&D in this game. So he's been great in S&D at the pro level now for the last 2 years. He's had a bit of a career kind of renaissance relative to the level he was playing at, like in Vanguard and MW2.
I mean,
he's really turned it around.
They're not gonna like win an event, but they'll be able to.
But here's the thing, though. And is like, does this get them to top 6? No. Does this get them to top 8 potentially? And that's probably what they're trying to do. They're trying to get to a point where they can win minimum that like first loses round 1 match and get some like points.
Well, Tej is a good like short-term answer where it's like, okay, maybe we're not gonna go. Hopefully, we don't go winless this stage. I will say, if you look at their schedule, I think it's really hard still.
We have some breaking news in the timeline.
What?
And I will say, Ghost of Hope, who's in our chat right now. Ghost of Hope is like tier 1 when it comes to
who tweeted this?
Ghost of Hope, who's in the chat right now.
What's Ghost of Hope's Twitter? I forget.
The Ghost of Hope. So just to be clear, because I love Hope's my guy, but you know when it comes to the CDL stuff, sometimes I would say, and I'm not trying to smoke, but like sometimes he's tier 2ish. But he just tweeted for my CDL peeps. I'm hearing Vegas Faze are looking at getting Alluka far from final. But it looks like Faze are looking to maybe make a change.
For who?
Here's the thing, though, Hope. Are they looking to make a change, or are they looking to pick up Alluka as a hedge against like the roster?
Yeah, because the way Rafi made it sound, like it didn't sound like he would send somebody somewhere to be a substitute. This would be more mind blowing than the Thieves roster change. Like the guy's he has not played that long. I mean, Alluka had one good weekend, and I'm not taking anything away from the kid's gross, but like for Faze.
So Hope just said in the chat, I'm gonna give you the exact words, and I want you to react to this. He just said in chat, I do not know. I just know they are interested immediately after the cup happened. So they could be interested in what exactly? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can finish your thoughts. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, interested is one thing, but if you're Faze and you're reaching out for the kid, you know that at some point that's going to circle back to the roster, right? Like this could be damaging. So, seeing stuff like
business, bro.
Yeah. So like, I don't think Ghost of Hope would just tweet this like off the cuff. Like he must like have something. How does this shit get out,
bro? I mean, what was the question? Sorry.
How does this even get out? Like, I don't understand. But yeah, that would be. This would be a huge change landscape. Faze making a change that early. I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying it. I think I'm buying it.
I think I know how it gets out just because I think there might be a lot of people to, that point, like they're in that sweepstakes.
Did 04 tweet?
There's some information. What 04 tweet?
I don't know. People are saying 04 tweet.
04 to Don tweet, bro.
04, you in chat? They look like they were vibing. He just tweeted out a GIF. Yeah. 04, are you in here, bro? Confirm or deny these rumors? Yeah, I'm kind of just at a loss for words. I don't know. Faze, I thought was looking really.
Chat.
Yeah, he was last time. That's why I said. But I thought Faze was looking good.
Some BS.
Oh, some BS. That's what I said.
They're looking good there. He said some BS.
See what I'm saying? That's what I said. I'm not buying it, bro. Faze is like one of the 3 teams. Like they're just not making, because Faze had a great weekend. They played only top teams, like 3 of the top 4 teams, and their search is looking like the best in the league. Like Faze looks great. You want
a BenJ conspiracy theory, and this is something that on the Faze side, I've been waiting to have this combo for a while. But if this is what's happening, we're gonna have it now. What if? Kind of hypothetical. I don't know if it's true here, but like, what if someone in management of Faze, Kason or Paul Hamilton or Eric Hamilton reached out, but like that hasn't been discussed with the players, and that like disconnect in information sharing, the rumor gets out, and now it's like we have this really awkward convo because we're not all on the same page about.
Well, that would be like, organizational malpractice, and I would say that is unlike Faze in the history of their organizations. So I don't know if that's true. Now, if you're referring to somebody like a Kason, then yeah. But saying Paul Hamilton, I don't know if that's the.
Yeah, that's not how Paul operates. So I
exactly.
So, I love Kason, but again, I don't know this for a fact, but I won't be surprised if they just put the feeler out there. It's getting maybe tactically leaked by somebody that has an agenda, because that's how this thing goes, and now it's a whole to do. So
these things all happen for a reason. This happens
in pro sports more often.
Does.
This doesn't happen a lot in esports, but this happens a lot in pro sports.
People but it's happened before.
Things all the time.
It's happened before, and people hop on certain shows or things to push a particular agenda sometimes, and maybe draw prices up. So there's a couple things probably at play here, but I would just say, at the core of it, and what you're seeing on the timeline, and with 04 saying some BS, I don't think FaZe is making a roster change. There's probably some other shit going on here for sure. But damn, this kid's got some buzz, man. His name's connected to a lot of teams right now, bro. It's exciting. He's gonna be probably, I don't even remember he's gonna have such high expectations, bro. Like, what player has come in this hype, man? And it's been a while. It really has.
People that have had this level of hype. Paco, AG.
I just mean it's such a short span.
Yeah, but in like a sweepstakes standpoint, right? Like,
yeah,
neither of those two guys came in and it was like a sweepstakes. I wouldn't say Merc was a sweepstakes either.
Yeah,
it was like, actually, maybe that was a little bit. I would love to know if there were other orgs outside of Toronto and Optic that were jostling for him.
I think it was just different with Mercules because it was like he just like instantly was playing at a LAN, right? And it was like, okay, this kid's clearly just nasty. He's gonna be on a team. This guy's just coming up like one weekend, fried, getting picked up, and is gonna expect it to be the savior of whoever it is, dude. He's gonna, man. I hope his mental's ready. He's gonna have some high expectations. Hopefully, he delivers.
You guys said Dante. The Dante one's a little.
Yeah, no, he was hyped.
I don't know if everybody knows. So the way that Vancouver, so Dante had a very interesting journey on FaZe because he was very good in Mafia 2019.
He was their sub, right?
Dante said some very questionable things that year. Got dropped. Him and Paul had and I think Crowder was involved in this. Like, they all sat down and they're like, look, like, we think you're talented. Do this, this, and this, and we'll figure this out. To rehab, because he said some awful things. We'll play pretty good the next year, right? With Tom and him. But the thing is, Seattle Surge's roster for the following season of Vanguard was basically locked in a year before in like April. Like, Sam, I would give credit to kind of how they came together. Like, they had their roster done before champs that year before. Like, they knew who they were picking up. It changed, but they had their roster locked in before even that offseason started. So there was no Dante sweepstakes. Like, they were in Dante's year even before the prior season ended. Yeah,
no, I don't think there's ever been a sweepstakes situation like this with a player like who's going to get him. And it's just been it's been a build up towards this moment. If you think of the last couple of years, right, specifically last year with having Neptune and Mercules come in and like both them being like top 5, top 10 players. And then now everybody's like, okay, the next time this happens, like, we're going to be prepared for it. And we're just seeing the cause and effect of what that does to the landscape of the league. It's honestly really exciting. All right, that's enough for challengers for now. Let's keep this pushing, Ben. Let's get into the pro league side of things. Okay, so let me pull this up. Let's talk about the LA Thieves, Ben. They had a bad weekend. Let's put it that way. Do I have this?
Yeah, they got bodied, bro.
I'm gonna try to pull up their match result real quick. Give me 1 second. But yeah, LA Thieves, it's not looking good right now. And coming into that series, I was talking about it. The dropping of Ghosties might end up haunting them, man. Ghosty last year turned a corner, started to play really, really well. And he's obviously a cerebral player. Here, let's switch it over now. And he absolutely dunked on the Thieves. Like, destroyed them, bro. Like, Ghosty legit looks like a top 5 player in this game. And this just doesn't bode well for the Thieves.
Isn't that the record KD by someone in the series? 2.14?
Bro, he went plus 40. Kenny had 36 in the series.
Bro,
this might prove, and I said it before the match happened, this might prove to be one of the worst roster decisions ever. Because, like,
yeah, I agree.
I mean, and this isn't a huge shot at KD, because I think, and we're going to get into it. I mean, I wrote down a decent amount of stuff. Hydra's not playing that well right now. The team in general just doesn't look like they're on the same page. But all that being said, Ghosty's a guy that keeps you on the same page. And I do think there's more than just his individual performance at play here. Like, this GentleMate team's playing incredibly well. And I think a lot of that is credit to Ghosty, man. Like, I think he's a better leader than what people thought of him. And it also begs the question, like, is Scrap and Hydra, are they like super easy to play with? Because, you know, your parent, I mean, we got to put it out there at this point. I mean, this match was bad, bro. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be ass all year, about losing like this to GentleMates and to the two guys you drop. It just doesn't bode well for your future and also for your morale headed into this break. But yeah, expand on your thoughts, Ben, because I heard some noises coming from over there.
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack here. So let's talk about GentleMates. I think, look, the what you need to see from the GentleMates roster early was this level of performance, right? All these guys, their situations last year, Dylan, Dan were on a very heralded team that flopped at the end of the year, even though they won, 2 events. Nep came in mid-season, but his team never got over the final hump of winning in a final. And Dante's C9 team, their only relevant claim to fame last year, was bitching about online the first 2 weeks of the season. Outside of that, nobody ever uttered championship contender in C9, the same sentence, okay? So they all came in with a chip on their shoulder because Dylan, Dan, as good as their team was, got dropped. Nep, obviously, much chagrin.
Yeah, they're all good players.
Yeah, they're all good players. And they, they're outspoken players, chip on the shoulder. I'm not surprised that they have gone off to a hot start because these guys are motivated to do so. They've got some good work ethic, and this is how you get here. On the flip side for Thieves, look, you can blame Ken for not shooting straight. That's fair. But I tweeted this, over the weekend. I guess people don't have reading comprehension, that Ken is not the sole reason that this team has issues.
Yeah, he's not.
I think to your point, we need to have a combo about Paco and Scrap, because to your point, like, why did they drop Dan? Dill, I understand. Tyler for Dill, look, I get that one. I think Dill is good, and Dill always plays big in big series, but consistently, like, talent-wise, Dill, people want to punk on me for a BZ, but I think Abe's got more talent than Dill, okay? But the trading Dan for Ken seems to me to be like they didn't like teaming with Dan is the only reason I can think of. And this is now, and this now begs the question is like, or to your point, like, are Scrap and Paco, like, are they difficult teammates?
Are they the ones that are hard to play with rather than Ghosty, bro? Because you look at this and it sure looks like Ghosty ain't hard to play with. I'll put it like that. Ghosty looks like he's easy as hell to play with. He's dropping 40. He's dropping plus 40, 8,000 damage. He's laughing on the mic. They're clutching up search rounds. They're blowing them out, blowing teams out in hardpoint. Like, even in their loss that they had to face, they blew them out back-to-back hardpoints. So, like, I heard all the rumors and stuff coming out from Thieves camp, like Ghosty can just be hard to play with, in scrims, whatever it is. The guy's butting heads. I don't see it, bro. This guy's, all he's done is kind of like tried to bend the glue for teams. So, and then also, like, you look at like Abizi, as some of the problems from the Faze team he was on, are they following him into this team, Ben? Like, I don't know, man.
I think it's tough to blame Tyler because he's new. Like, listen, I think this is one of those, it's not black and white situations. Like, Dan's now been dropped. Okay, so a couple things. People were saying in the chat, it came out the management was pushing a change in Thieves. I find that a spin, to be honest. You guys need to not take everybody for their word. People have agendas. And I found that when it came out over the summer as cover for the fact that the players also wanted to change, but management's willing to take the bait to protect the, reputation of the two guys that they want to keep happy because they want them to re-sign in the following offseason and not go to Falcons. Okay? That's part one. Part two is, like, I don't doubt that Dan can be a difficult teammate because he's a passionate guy. If you met Dan, you talk to Dan. Dan is a yapper. Dan understands the game. Dan has a thought process on how he wants to play. And I'm not surprised that, at times he may want to play a certain situation one way. People don't want the other, and they can't agree. But the thing is, it goes the other way. It's possible that on the other side of that, like Scrap and Paco, like, they're also not willing to change the way they want to play. And to be honest, I will say, if you look at how Thieves played last year, one of our main criticisms of Thieves is at times that team was just like, it felt in the comms sometimes that I don't say they didn't want to be there, but like they are not communicating at a championship level like we've seen from, say, Vanguard.
They get frustrated because they expect to win. And they've gone into all these. And when it doesn't go their way, it can snowball. And you saw that. They got blown out map 1, and it snowballed. The next 2 maps like weren't even close. And that's something I brought up in the preseason because, I mean, the players will say that this is bullshit, but I competed, I know. You go and you watch their streams or whether they're playing S&D tournament, whatever it is, like, you can just see, like, the frustration, either whether it's Hydra, whether it's Scrap. Like, those things can get bad. And then Abizi's kind of sitting there like, all right, guys, like, everybody lock in. Like, that's just the vibe that I picked up in preseason from just like watching them early on. And like I said, Scrap will probably go live and say this is bullshit. Those things matter. So I think LA Thieves, they need to mentally get on the same page and they need to put in some work, bro. They got to come out the other side of this break absolutely smoking people. Because one, community's been all over Ken. It's not all on Ken, bro. Team did not play well in that series. You don't get beat like that because of one guy. I'm sorry. And if you even look at it, like Hydra did not play well in the series.
Hydra is the second lowest hardpoint. I mean, it's 3 series, so super low. But he's bottom 3 right now in hardpoint KD.
Yeah.
Really enough shots, he's last. So just take that stat how it's worth. You know what I'm saying? But
it's just this Thieves team. Like this is a super team, right? Like you make this roster to win champs. Like dethrone this Optic team, and it's like, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, some of these decisions are going to haunt them, man. It really is.
I'll say this, for example. It's like, it's not even just a hard point, bro. I watched your Overload. Like, it
was horrible.
Like, Faze are a good example. They don't have a winning record in Overload, but if you watch them play Overload, like, they have an idea of how I think you should properly play that game out. They just don't get enough kills, I think, to win some of those maps. Then it's another issue with them, but we'll get to that. Like, with Thieves, I watched them play Overload, and I think they're a little bit behind in the mode. That's a problem if you're not good at the 2 respawn modes. Like, did this not be a team that has to Nesla their way in the winning series?
Bro, they got fried in the Overload. There were some moments where, like, you know, obviously watching X-Ray stuff, it's easier said than done, but I expect these things of the top teams. There was a moment where, like, the Gentlemates was taking at rooftops, and 3 players on Thieves ran through mid-map on Den. I'm trying to find it right now, like, siphon through. 3 players, like, ran through and, like, tried to, like, double flank and like the little indecision in Overload will get you killed. Like that's where you start getting just rallied on. And so to me, right when I watched this map, I was like instantly knew Thieves is behind. Like, and that's concerning. This team is probably one of the highest paid in the league. You know, they're making it. You're dropping 2 coveted players to make this change. Like you just expect better. If you're a Thieves fan, I'd be concerned and I'd also be frustrated that this is the result that you're getting. But yeah, I mean,
but hold on. I will say this to be fair. Last year, Atlanta Faze looked fucking god-awful in December. Got 3-0 shit-stormed off the map by Carolina Royal Ravens. I don't know if anyone remembers that series, but they looked horrific in that series. Grinded for 3 weeks straight, came back, didn't lose a series for a month and a half.
Okay,
so like,
well, what happened to that team? What happened to that team the rest of the year, and where are they at now?
Well, then they won Major 2.
Okay, what happened?
And then the same problems came around, and they couldn't fix it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Team.
That's what I thought.
So just the context is like they can figure it out. It's not like what I'm trying to say.
They also didn't drop somebody who turned into like a superstar coming into the year. You know what I mean?
They rolled back their same team from the year prior because they'd won.
That's what I'm saying. There's more at play here than just like the fate. That's a different situation. I hear what you're saying and like the sentiment, but also it's like that's not the goal for this team to like bounce back and win like a major or 2. These guys are trying to like win everything, right? Like that's what this roster is built for.
No, the championship or bust for these guys because you have to also think of the context of this, bro. Like Scrap and everybody who is a quality player, superstar player, is probably a free agent this year. We've talked about this for the last few months. Everybody's trying to set up for what's going to be a weird offseason where Falcons may dictate the market as far as who is getting the mega bag. And there's going to be an arms race of building super teams out of that. And I think Thieves are in a position where like they don't want to, they don't want to be back to where they were 2 years ago. They got kind of lucky that they got this team in the first place. Remember the series of circumstances on how Paco and Scrap got on this roster in the first place. It's essentially because Subliner sold C9.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
that is like the first domino on how this all happened. Like without that, they probably would have made a couple of changes from that quality Thieves roster that had Byron and Dan and Joe on it. Like it's not like the team would have been bad, but how they got the super team was a crazy set of circumstances.
No, that's a great point to bring up. Also, I want to point out for chat and what we're saying. It's not that they can't lose. Everybody's going to lose. This team cannot lose like this. That's the whole point. They can't lose like, guys, they can't lose like this. It's not something that this Thieves team can do. Not after dropping these guys. So yeah, I mean, for them, they gotta figure it out. They gotta grind, bro. No game mode looks dominant for them. 50% win rate and hardpoint right now. The search, they got blown out, and the overload of all the super teams, they look like the worst overload team. Koi looks better than them in that game mode. Faze looks better than them in game mode. I know they beat Faze in that game mode, like week number 1, but that was like a buzzer beater prayer play by a BZ. Optic looks better than there. Gentlemates look better than them there. So yeah, there's a lot of things for them to work on. Yeah, let's keep it posted.
Here's my final thought: is there's a very famous quote by the one philosopher of our great generation, LeBron James. There's a Call of Duty player who's also talked about this quote. Maybe it's me. I think for scrapping Paco, think about that phrase, what it means to you, and how you want to change being players going forward, because it may very much help your current situation.
I think Hydra needs to work on being easier to play with, bro. Because whenever I think of Hydra at his best, it's the teams where everyone played around him and like he could do whatever he want, like hard blocking when you aren't even supposed to hard block, so he can make some plays. Like, got to work on being more complimentary towards Abizi, because you do have another guy next to you that can do what you do, my boy. So I'm not blaming Paco, guys. Let's not say that. I think Paco's godlike. I'm on the record saying that multiple times. I think
talented.
His POV is to me equally as insane as Shotzi's, if not better at times. But I think when you watch them play, and if you hard focus on Hydra's arrow, he needs to play a little more complimentary, especially now that Abizi's on the team. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like that's something easy to do. That's difficult to do, to balance all the superstar players that you have. But we're seeing teams do it. Seeing Optic do it. Seeing Gentlemates do it. And like I said, they can lose. They just can't lose like that. All right, let's keep it moving though, Ben. So you had some takes last week, brother. We're going to hop into the Riyadh Falcons talk. I've been excited to talk about this one. You know me, last week when we talked about it, I'm kind of a fan of the roster. I know a lot of people were kind of out on them, you included. But this week, the Riyadh Falcons bounced back this weekend, going 6-1 map count over the Carolina Royal Ravens and the Boston Breach, who are looking solid. MC is back. He's dropped a 1.4 versus Boston, a 1.55 versus Carolina. MC was on one this week, bro. Like he was on a mission. These are the type of this is what the Falcons organization and the fans expected picking up Celium, is like he can just take over games. He truly went vintage mode, and that was everybody else around him also playing well too. Exon, I thought, had a great weekend. Kismet really showcased like why his addition to this team was necessary over maybe some other star players that were available. He just helps them get out of sticky situations, and also like through the 2 matches, Pred looked better as well. Like just decision making. He had one bad mistake, but he made up for it on the Colossus later on. He essentially won them the final rotation. And I think that's a credit to Kismet, who in practice has to be trying to get these guys on the same page. I think they've drawn a line in the sand now. They are not a bottom half of the league team. Like, they're not quite there yet with the top teams, but they have enough talent and the knowledge and the infrastructure around them to be able to beat all the teams that are kind of like bottom 6 teams. Like, I think they're a top 6 team with potential to go higher.
So here's my read on this team. I think they've done a good job of recovering from the 0-2 start to beat teams that should be below their level. So 2-2, they've got some good bread and butter maps. I think looking at this team going forward, their map pool, like Blackheart's back in.
Which Rumor, one of their best maps, rumored.
Yeah, Rumor, one of their best maps from what's been said. So like they're going to get either Colossus or Blackheart in every series, right? Assuming that they win vetoes, they're probably a team A team, so they get in that map 1. If not, it's map 4. But I still feel like with this team, even amongst these 2 wins, that they are super momentum based because their communication is like not the greatest. So I think the individual performances were better this week. They beat teams that are below them. They are not dead last. They are, I think, somewhere probably in the T6 to T8 range, and they're at a point now. I had a call with MC yesterday, by the way. I had to catch up with my boy. And, he agrees with me. Like, they need to make the most of the next 3 weeks because they have done a good job. They get a feel for how they want to play this game, but there are things they still need to work on. Because if they don't do that, like they don't want to get 8th and 6th. They think they're up there. They want to be up there with
Thieves. Oh, yeah. I've been saying that.
In their prime. And Gentlemates and Faze and Toronto and Optic.
This roster isn't built to be like a mid team.
Yeah.
They're built to, and they're in their mind and in the organization's mind to win championships. And I will say, like, I don't think they're there. They're there, and it's going to take a little bit for them to get to that point. But I will say, I would not be surprised if this team is on Sunday at Major One. Would you be? You would be surprised at that?
With the right bracket draw, I can't. Again, I want to see post break how people navigate the map pool against this team. I want to see a bit more from them on Overload. I think their search is actually not that bad. Because even last year, like with their different team, but with AG, like they were still not an easy out in S&D. I want to see what they do like in the swing mode against teams again. Like if they're a team A team and they win map 1, but they don't have a deep hardpoint bag or overload bag, they're gonna get 3-1 a lot type shit. So
yeah, like, I mean, Falcons right now are third in overall team KD and hardpoint. Search and destroy, I mean, 50%. Like, I mean, they're kind of hitting all the metrics you'd expect them to hit early on. I mean, search and destroy round plus minus, they're 5th in the league. So, I mean, overall, like across the game modes, they've had great development there, and that is with potentially their best map not even being in the pool in hardpoint.
Yeah.
And if you look at their schedule, so going forward, the Riyadh Falcons here, I'll pull it up for everybody to see. Here you go. So Riyadh Falcons going forward.
We'll get to snaking in a bit, guys. We'll get to snaking in a sec.
We'll do that at the tail end of this talk. But going forward, so they're 2-2 now, right? Yeah. They got their map win percentage up because they won 6-1, which is massive.
Which, by the way, insane to me that they had played 4 games. Carolina's played 2, and everybody else played 3.
Right, we're going to talk about that too. But so then they got G2, which they're the favorite. To me, they should be the favorite.
Winnable. They should be the favorite.
Yeah, they'll probably lose the General Mates. Is it out of the realm of possibility for them to win that? Not really. But then they have Cloud9 as their last match. So like Falcons are going to be in winners bracket.
They should go 4-3 here minimum.
Yeah, they should go 4-3. So they're in a pretty good spot. We'll keep revisiting this one, but Falcons to me are like this team that's like could be the sleeping giant of our league this year, and we'll see going forward though.
But again, I talked to MC yesterday, and the takeaway from that convo is like he's aware and they're aware that it's like they're the masters of their own destiny, bro. They're a decent team. They're not 0-4, like blow it up. But like if they waste these 3 weeks and they come out and they lay an egg in January, they can get fucking last in Major 1. But if they come out and they grind and they get better, they work on their teamwork, work on their communication, they're more comfortable in their roles, how they want to play search and destroy, overload. They can upset a bunch of people if they work hard.
They have taken a lot of shit, the players in general, like just for various reasons. And I just want to show them some love, man. Honestly, like people are saying, oh, Celium taking the bag, this and that. Celium played like he's still grinding, still working at it. Played very, very well. It wasn't just like him going and taking a bag. Like he's still trying to win. Pred was making some good decisions. I like what I saw to the guys. Like it looks like they're hungry. But Clayster let out a tweet after their match, and he said, solid first 2 weeks of matches, end it 2-2. Proud of the lads for bouncing back. Furthermore, the fairness of the CDL needs to be addressed. We played 4 matches before the break when 10 out of 12 teams played 3 times and Carolina only twice. He also said they were lagging for the first 60 seconds against Boston. They provided the data from the back end to prove it wasn't their internet, did everything they were supposed to, quote unquote. And the league told him it was a client issue. He said he's happy they won, but regardless of that, the consistency in rulings and decisions from admins are poor at best. Not to mention Blackheart being removed from the pool 2 days before matches start. And then at the end, like I'm sure everybody would tell me to cry, this and that, and the third. I appreciate the transparency from Clayster. 1. Obviously, Clayster's a good friend of mine, so I understand he's just kind of backing up his boys here because Selling was taking a lot of shit for the snaking. A pretty eventful first 2 weeks for the Falcons, honestly. I mean, you get blown out first 2 matches, win 2, and all this shit happens. What is your general thought on this tweet from Clayster and kind of him calling out the league?
So a couple of things. The scheduling quirk is definitely weird. I'm not sure why Carolina only played 2 games. Falcons played 4 and everybody else played 3. It just seems weird to not have everybody on 3 or 4. Yeah. But okay. The Boston map 1 situation, I talked to Clay and I talked to Denz as well, just for context. I got kind of a background from them, from their perspective on how it went down. And it reinforces something that I've talked about before on my stream, which is, and this is a collective issue. So I'm not just blaming like the league on this one. This is also on the teams and the players. We're kind of allowing to get to this point because we've had this issue since like year 1 of the league. There just isn't a lot of clarity in the rule book on what to do in these situations. I think it's vague by intention in order to allow the CDL and the refs to make judgment calls. But like, if people want it to be more black and white, collectively as a group, by now year 7, they could have made these rules a lot more black and white on what happens with client-side issues and packet bursting and replays. Like, it could be a lot more, whatever. So anyway, that's my thought on that. The black card getting removed from the pool 2 days before is a bad bounce.
Yeah,
I don't really know if anyone else can control outside the studio.
I mean,
either way, like if you told Falcons before the split they were gonna get 2 and 2, you probably take that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely would take that. And I think like it can be an advantage. Obviously, there's a huge break, and you can work on a lot of things. And like, if you're Falcons, you know, you're happy you're 2 and 2, but like you would have probably preferred it to be when Blackheart's back in the map pool. So I think I like the overall message of like Clay standing up for his guys, and you know, it's good bulletin board material for them anyways. You know, working against the odds, and they definitely did that. But yeah, I think it's just unfortunate scheduling. I don't know why that happened. I would love to talk to the league about how they come up with the schedule, because yeah, a team having 2 and another team having 4 is kind of like takes a little bit of the integrity out. But regardless of that, it doesn't really matter because they won 2.
Yeah, it's just weird for Carolina because it's so hard to talk in context about them because like they went 0 and 2.
Yeah,
and having a 3rd or 4th series could really give us some data, and we're like, I don't think they're good, but it's like, and that sample size is so low.
Well, I mean, theoretically, it's just a crazy advantage because, like, if a team, you know, like say Falcons started 1 and 3, and the other team that had 2 matches went like 1 and 1, but looked terrible, they could have a whole new roster on the other side of this break and just have like an inherent advantage in terms of points and like standings. So Clay putting that out there is actually good because it'll probably get addressed going forward.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so
you see this in the NHL and NBA sometimes. Just for context, like it happens in pro sports, but they play all, you know, in baseball 162 games, 80 something in the NBA.
Yeah.
The sample size eventually washes that out when guys and teams can't, you know, teams go on long road trips because of arena programming, or they have extended breaks for overseas travel or something like that. That stuff gets cleaned up.
It's just particularly tough in
the
COD.
CDL with 7 games.
Yeah, because we got a new game every year too, so it's like.
And you have 7 games to split, so like 2 games is almost a third of that. So
I'm trying to find a clip of Celium right now so we can talk about the snake. All I have is the optic clip, and I don't know if I could use the watch party. I think I can.
It's
right?
It's near the end of the Boston series. It's on that last P3. So context for people that didn't watch this weekend, the last map was Boston Falcon series on the Tunnel Hill.
I got it up.
MC was starting to fry at that point in the map. You know, I would say went a little rogue with the pumps. There was a lot of emotion in this series, as you can tell. So there's a lot more context. And MC claimed afterwards that they snaked him. And anyway, like this is an issue every year. What is the team's going to do about this? Because the league has no rules against snaking. It's not like a punishable thing by the league. So it's down to player GAs, which is a laughable schoolyard recess process in which none of them want to take ownership of. So from my understanding of the situation right now, is that there's conversations in the group about banning them for a week of scrims, a day of scrims. I doubt anything is going to happen. Maybe they get banned like a warm-up scrim or something. But
if you snake and you break the rules, you should not have scrims for the rest of that split. I'm being so dead ass. That's actually my take.
If you want to stop, you got to be black and white. That's what I've said.
You should lose scrims for the rest of the split. But I know that there's a problem because then it's like, okay, one team doesn't get a scrim. The pros just have to figure that out. Somebody else has to play an extra set then. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
You guys have to figure it out. Like the rest of the pro players. Like if you guys want the league to be like legitimate and for these rules that you guys have to stand ground, then you guys need to have like, there has to be overcorrection. Like there just does. You can't be having like Lunars come out and snake egregiously on the plane like 6 times in a row. And then the next day have like Celium snaking like 10 times in a row. Like this is just not good for the esport. It's definitely not good for the precedent if they don't get like a punishment for it.
Can I address something in chat?
Otherwise, just get rid of it.
Boys, the people in chat are like, that's a big punishment. The point is, and the problem with the process is without enforcement, the rules don't matter. When you have strict enforceable penalties, people aren't going to do it because the punishment is so severe. That's the whole point of that process.
That's how it works.
Like if you got first offenders a warm-up scrim,
yeah,
a warm-up scrim will just 2v2 hard.
Okay, so yeah, let me take my 10 CDL points. All right, I'll lose a scrim. Sure thing. Like,
yeah,
we'll watch a little more VOD. Like, Yeah, no, there needs to be, and to be honest, this is like really there just needs to be a couple teams that care a little bit more about this shit. Like honestly,
I agree.
The player to me, it just means the players just don't care enough, and that's a problem. That is a problem.
Listen, I'm so tired of talking about this. You remember I put together a presentation last year, and I got told, well, the players won't do any of this because they can't attend meetings. Like, listen, if you guys pros, if you want to fix this, grow up. You're adults. You are all a minimum 18, mostly in your mid 20s. Be adults. Build a better process. The league's not going to do it for you. Enforce it. Create real rules, and you will solve this problem.
And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it a step further.
To come in and fix this, bro.
I'm going to take it a step further. And I think more of the responsibility, and I know you guys don't want to hear this, especially you guys that are fans of these teams. There's more responsibility on the top teams, on the Thieves, on the Faze, and on the Optic. If those guys, and Koi, whoever else you want to say, if stuff like that happens, and those guys then say like, no, we're just not going to scrim those guys for like 2 weeks. We'll scrim each other. Then you'll see people stop doing this shit. And hey, they could say whatever it is, like, oh, we're focused on our game, this and that. Nope, you have a little more responsibility, brother, because you're the team that people want to scrim. I've been there before. I know how it is. And you're not going to try to tell me. Like, if you guys want this shit to stop, don't go on stream and say, oh, man, it's egregious, red card, this and that. Do something about it. You guys have the power to do it. We have no power.
Yeah,
and
well, they won't because they're all pussies, bro. But
we have no power.
I'm tired of talking about this. I've been doing the flank since Cold War, and every year we have the same convo. You've been doing this longer.
No, I know.
Literally, Codcast, OG Codcast episodes are basically GA combos. You remember that?
Yeah, no, we had a ton of these. But it's just funny to me.
This show started before I joined the show.
It's just so funny to me that there's like the way the pros will like talk about it and address it, but not actually do anything. It's just frustrating. But we'll move on. You guys heard our take on it. You know, when we put stuff out here like this, sometimes it can maybe pressure pros into doing the right thing. We'll see. The next thing I have on the docket here, Ben, is it's the Surge topic, which we kind of covered and we talked about TJ potentially going there. So I don't know if we really need to rehash it too much. I'll just leave it at this. Surge, I don't agree with the roster construction in the first place. I think them dropping Legend is the right decision right now. And they like picking up, if TJ is the guy that they pick up, I think that that's also the right player to pick up for some familiarity there with Gwyn. But it's not going to like move the needle. They're not going to like be some crazy player here at Major One. Is there any final things that you wanted to say about that, since we actually covered it a little bit already?
No, I mean, I think TJ is going to help them out with increasing their floor. I just don't know if they've got the talent to really step into like anything higher than top 8. So it gets them off the theoretical ocean floor, Marianas Trench of the CDL. But I think there's more changes coming probably post Major One with the scene in order to like actually be in a spot to qualify.
What'd you call it? The Oceanic Trench?
The Mariana. You know, the deepest point in the world is the Mariana. It's the Mariana Trench or the Mariana. What is it called, bro? The Marianas Trench, right? Marianas Trench.
Oh man, you're being kind to them. I think they're the amoeba underneath the shit at the bottom.
You're saying they're like the core of the earth.
Like. Yeah, they're the right now. I mean, that's what it looked like to me so far. So it'll get them above that. They'll at least be floating. They'll be floating. They're still drowning, but they're floating. They're floating towards the surface. But yeah, they'll figure out some things with Tej. It should make their search and destroy a bit better. They'll have a higher floor for sure. And Gwyn will just emotionally and mentally be in a better spot with TJ with him because he knows he can rely on him a little bit. But let's keep it pushing. Faze are looking extremely dominant in search and destroy. They've played Thieves, Coin, and Gentlemates. They boast a 2-1 record. So they've had the hardest strength of schedule. They're 2-1, and they're doing this despite a 20% win rate in hardpoint, 1-4 in that game mode. They did show some strength on Colossus, a map that they had been vetoing in all the series prior. Absolutely dominant Colossus performance. I'll pull up the stat sheet from that. But just to kick things off, and then I'll let you take over here, Ben. I was not like extremely bullish on Faze because of the schedule that they had, but the turnaround that they showed and the fight that they showed, I think it's awesome. And it reminds me, not exactly the same, but it's a Faze team, bro. They're really good at search and destroy, and you're never gonna like sweep them to respawns. Like this is a Faze team. This is no different than the simp teams that I've seen for years. So to me, that means Faze is in a good spot.
I think their search is really good, and that's with right now. I don't know if you know the stat, but everybody on this team other than 04 is batting like over 500 as far as winning their opening duels. 04 is like 4 for 16. Absolute volume shooting out here at 25% first bloods. They're still winning these S&D maps. So that'll come back around because 04, historically, his numbers are not that low. And some of it's also the role, and they play a lot of Scar, and yeah, it is a bunch of other factors in it. But I think for FaZe right now, look, will they try to figure out what this team is? You know, the fact that they've able to work themselves into a hard out with the. But like, go to this team page and look at who they have played in the CDL and in the preseason tournaments. Bro, these not like these guys have had like a million series against Carolina and C9 and Vancouver. Like they haven't had freebies.
No, they've literally only played bangers.
Consistently play top teams, yeah. And like G2 when they were
had
ahead,
one bad loss.
They
was a G2 match.
But this is good, right? Like I know Crowder and RJ and Simp, and I was there last couple weeks ago, so I've talked to our guys. Like I know what they think. They like this practice. They don't want to play those. No disrespect to the bad teams. Like they learn more from playing top teams they do from the bottom. So I think to where they're at now, which is while they try to figure out what their hardpoint game looks like, an overload game looks like, they're still forcing these series to 5. They beat Gentlemate, who we argue is maybe potentially 1A, 1B with Optic, and a Toronto team that was getting third at like every event last year.
Toronto looks scary.
One player.
Yeah, that's a big win, big time win.
Yeah, like they're in it. Listen, if you had told them before this that you're going to be 2-1 with the schedule they had, and go, by the way, look at who else they play. You got Optic as their next match. Like I think you probably take it.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same thing as what I said with MC. What do they do with the next 3 weeks?
Well, a couple good signs. I agree. A couple good signs. Booza and Draza played well. Ben, we had some questions about them after opening weekend.
Yeah.
In the AR duo. And if you heard Booza, we interviewed him after his match, and he said, like, they're not all the way there yet. Like, him and Draza, like, that dynamic. So they're going to keep on working there. Simp looks incredible. And like I said, their search looks great. And I know you didn't exactly agree with my take, but I truly believe that. I mean, it just looks like a FaZe team, bro. They're going to be winning their search and destroys. You're not going to sweep them in a respawn. They're tough to beat. They have Simp, who, like, the guys are playing around him. He's playing well. Like, I like their chances versus anybody. Like, in a series, in a square up, like, they can beat, right now, in my mind, they can beat anybody. And they're definitely in play to win this first major. Because I just have faith that this team, with time, is going to figure shit out and just get better as the season goes.
There were people on the internet, and I know I shouldn't roost too much full about randoms and Twitter eggs and people on Reddit, but there were people on the internet after Champs in EWC were like, "Oh, Simp is washed. They're the trio's breaking up, and Simp's just going to be a bro. This guy might be a top 3 player in this game."
Yeah,
Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. Simp's even in their loss, Simp was absurd, bro. Like that's the thing people are like forgetting here is like Simp.
He's back on his bullshit, bro.
Yeah, he's back on his shit. So it's like if there's like a marginal increase in the performance from the ARs in the hardpoint specifically, what's to say they can't just come in and be the team that I'm not saying they will be, but they can absolutely be the team that dethrones Optic because they have the makings to do so. Like if you're a dominant search team,
first, bro.
Yes, Brett. Yeah. Yes, man. I mean, on this show, we are big fans of search and destroy.
I got to give a lot of credit. I was definitely going into the season a little bit critical of how, I gassed 04 search, but Vancouver, bro, and Abuza, kind of struggled individually in search last year. Vancouver was not a good S&D team last year.
Dealership got added, and they got a lot better.
They got better, but like generally on the year, they were just a subpar S&D team. Like, bro, Abuza since day one of this game has been nasty at S&D with the sniper, without a sniper. Like, they are able to grind out. Like Scar S&D, for example, right now, if you played on wagers or you just watched, like it is, I don't think a great search map. The other bomb site nedes to move because it's sort of like sovereign S&D.
You just
right
really
now.
Can't go there, and like
you can only go to one bomb site and it's just a bang out. So like
the crawling and shit. There's some weird things about Scar that
it is literally sovereign, bro. Is it? Am I crazy in that analogy? It's basically sovereign S&D. Sovereign
was a bit different because you could go to the other bomb if you drew attention out through mid, and you can cut the map.
Yeah,
kind of through mid. You can't
exactly. It was still really hard though.
It was like harder, but I just think you can't really cut. I see your comparison, but you can't really cut the map like you could on Sovereign. So
they FaZe ran a strat where I think you can try, and it just didn't work out because they had the bomb guy watching pinch. But like they threw a smoke mid cut, and their 2 subs just like hit out green.
To me, it's more like Warhawk.
Yeah, actually, that's a way better analogy. Yeah, I agree. It's actually way more like Warhawk.
It's kind of like Warhawk. But yeah, I mean, I think we're on the same page on this team. And then also, I saw a lot of people talking about like their hard point, which like it definitely needs work. But pretty sure they lost both the hard points to the Gentlemates, right? Where they got cooked, like I think.
They've lost. It's not like they're getting blown out. The thing with their hard point is like, you watch it, like they're making some mistakes, but they're not making like super.
Yeah,
what I would say like a super egregious. We don't understand the fundamentals of this mode. They're like losing close maps, and I think the key thing for them is getting off to better starts in these hard points.
Gentlemates are just ahead in that game mode.
Yeah,
like I'm looking at it now. They did get blown out. Sorry to interrupt.
I think some of that is like I'm gonna be honest with the hard point issues. Like I think some of that is kind of on Zach. I think Draws was really struggled up until the last series, just in every mode. I think in particular his hard point, like they played a bunch of exposures where I think they legitimately lost because they got P2, P3 blended. Zach was rotated to P2 and just like couldn't win the next 1 or 2 gunfights for them to actually get like a solid hold off the rip to generate momentum. Like, again, I don't want to blame just one person for their hardpoint issues because I'm sure there's other things, but I think Zach playing better definitely helps. Just got to kick it on from here, bro. They got to keep grinding. Again, we saw last year with Atlanta Faze, bro. I know different personnel by the 4, but they sucked in December, and then we saw what happened after that. So.
Absolutely. All right, Ben, let's go on to the next segment. Last week we did the overreactions. This week we're doing stock up, stock down. You guys can post in chat. We'll start with whose stock is up. I asked Ben to put together a couple of people or a couple, either organization. It could be organization. It could be players. It could be anybody. Whose stock do you have up after the first 2 weeks of play?
Yeah, actually, it was hard for me to do 3, Ant. So I know you did 3. Maybe I'll try and cut this down.
Well, I think we're supposed to come up with 3 together. I just put some suggestions, but we can do more.
Well, we should do more. We should do your 3 and my 3, but like.
Okay, so start with your like.
If you don't send me the agenda about 45 minutes before the show, we can do more work.
To be fair, I told you about this last night.
I know, but I put together my list. I maybe misread the situation. I thought you would do 3, I would do 3. Like.
Okay, so whose stock is the least up but still up? Start from the bottom and then get all the way to the top. Whose stock's through the roof?
One person I want to shout out is Byron Nasty. If I put 3rd, Byron Nasty. I know Boston. I still think they're kind of the same spot last year. Like we'll see when they go to lane if they're running out 3rds or 6th or 8th or whatever. But people were concerned about this Nasty pickup, and he has been their best player.
Yeah,
for the first 2 weeks.
Well, I'd probably still go Snoopy just because he has takeover ability. But yeah, Nasty's been so consistent for them. And I think it was the G2 series where was it that one? Or it might have been the series where he like got them through it. Like he was balling. Like it was the Carolina one. Just a straight up AR differential. I mean, both ARs popped off, but Nasty went crazy. And they've just been better than what people thought. I mean, the preseason was bad for this Boston team. You look at it. I mean, they're 2-1. This reverse sweep was massive. And I actually, in my 3rd spot, I had Snoopy. So we both picked a player from Boston. I like that one. I think Nasty consistently now, to this point, from the year before last, in MW3, at the end of the year, he has been so good and so consistent. And to be honest, if we're picking the most underrated player in the league, it's been Nasty for a year and a half
3
now.
years.
Yeah, 2 years,
No, I agree. I still think for Boston, they keep playing Colossus hardpoint. They keep losing. Poster getting blown out. So like maybe after the break, we'll see with Blackheart in it, they switch up. But if you're a Boston fan, 2-1, you take that start.
100%. Yeah, and look at some of these games. Yeah, like you're saying, the Colossus has been close. They're there. I mean, they're close. 3-point loss, 17-point loss.
They're just scoring teams. If I were them, I would play other maps, but if they're confident that's a map that they should be winning, then
and they probably feel like they got snaked in this one, right? So good bulletin board material for them. Like they definitely could have won this series. Right. Fortunately, they got hit with MC.
Yeah, I mean, exposure last map. I don't know. They got the Scar S&D was a blood, so we'll see how the S&D would have played out last map. But
I mean, they got outblooded 6-1. Goodness gracious!
No, the second map was not close.
Yeah,
second map was not close.
All right, so who's next on the list, Ben? Who we got? Who stocks up?
You know who I have second on my list is Trakes.
I like that one. He wasn't on mine.
I was not sure what to think about Miami before January because they were under practice visa issues, but bro, this is a gritty team.
Oh, it is.
This team's got grit. They're the same team as last year. Like, yeah, sometimes they respawn we'll kind of see if they're consistent, but they're hard on search. And this guy Trakes, I'm looking at his arrow, man. He's making plays. I don't know what he's saying because I don't understand Spanish, but the arrow looks good.
Yo, but not only just the arrow looks good, because it does, his like screen is crazy, bro. Like he is absolutely turned. We were talking about in the green room, bro. This kid he's moving fast. He's winning some crazy gunfights. He's in the right spot at the right time. And other than that, like map 1 he had in the first series, it's been solid, bro. And this Miami team look like they're ahead of schedule, like legit. Yeah. I mean, they've pushed Optic to the brink. We'll put up this comeback because this was some special stuff right here. Hey, he's playing well. I mean, this team to me, man, is just the same as last year. Like they're gonna be good at search. The respawn is gonna be gritty. They're not gonna go out without a fight. And yeah, I mean, they're gonna make a couple Sundays, I think. And Trakes, that's a good one. He wasn't on my list, but he should have been.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think about. I thought Trakes would be like, okay, you probably come in, maybe have a map 2 or pop off, but we'll really see in general what we get from him. But I think for Miami, they've got like, bro, they had the world's like most unfortunate O2 start I've ever seen in my life because I don't think they played bad in like either series. But they, grind out against C9 and like, okay, like they have Carolina, Vancouver, Boston as their next 3 matches. And then gentlemen, it's like I think they'll be fine.
Winnable. Yeah, let's talk about this comeback too, because this is impressive stuff. You see Optic here. They break into this, and there's like a spawn that like you can read if you don't have anybody back here blocking. You guys see my cursor, but like, so you see Optic. They all push out front. They have control. They're trying to win here, and you got Shotzi in the back right now, and like you're just trying to play for kills. Then you can back up and like make sure you block it. So they end up getting like a couple of kills, and you see Optic. They backtrack to the hill. That's 3 dead, and Shotzi's back here, right? And he thinks he's blocking, but he starts to push up for this fight on 3. And if you don't have a guy back here and that spawn's available, somebody can spawn there. But like for Optic in the moment,
stairs, I think, right?
Yeah, but like you could see right here, like Shotzi goes back here after 3 kills happen to like influence and block. So I don't know whether he calmed it or not. Be curious to ask him. But you could see like the timing of it. He pushes up past the statue and the spawn's available, so somebody gets there, right? And I think Optic just weren't ready for it. Like Dashy gives it like a glance, but like he's like, there's no way anybody's back there. You know what I mean? He just like turns back around for front.
Half a second more.
I know. And so he gets in with the buzzer beater, like literally buzzer beater. I just think Optic weren't ready for it. And then he gets the
rotate. And
then he gets the parallel right after that, right? So it's just like a really like Optic probably thought they had this on the bag, just like a little bit of a gift right there. And COD things get hectic. And that's why I tweeted out after this. This is super it was just unreadable. Just because of the circumstances around it.
I have a but though, because I've watched back this map now. So like a little bit unreadable, although I will say, and again, they may change the spawn logic, but like there are some readable 1-player spawn outs that people will start reading, and you will make the right play to read that spawn because the push out of the kill you're getting before is worth it to play the next one. I do think though Brandon kind of scammed by spawning up with 15 seconds left and hitting ult. If he had rotated,
I mean, definitely. But
I think they win the fights at new and they would have won this map. But I know they end up winning the series. Like it's just,
it just
there is at least one.
It gets weird because like, let me go back even further.
No, go back to 16 seconds. He spawns up fucking back B overload like that computer's
like he gets the parallel after, and he could have just left, right? But they want this 1 second.
They have numbers to know.
But then the real problem is like so Mercules hits it and Dashy hit it, right? And so you see shots, he's like, okay, then I got to rotate. And Heretics did a good job of just bull rushing the front and taking the numbers fight. I'm assuming they were communicating there were multiple people pushing it. And then they just know that it's going to be 1 at most. And then they just kind of hold and win another big fight here. Players come in, they cut mid. Like, this is just well played by Heretics, guys. Like, I know they get a little bit of the gift on the spawn out in the back. Optic wasn't exactly ready for. But post that, they made every right decision. The streak comes in. You got a player pushing out Dojo, another one going mid. Yeah, this is just well done. Like, to me, Heretics is going to be good. They're going to be similar to last year. But all right.
Yeah, I think to the point, maybe JP watches back and they just, with their time, they're just like, you know what? We're confident in our break. We just want to flip for that last second. But it's like you watch back how it would have played out, and maybe this is a replicable situation. You just maybe the second guy should rotate, and then you just went off anew. But I mean, they had to also lose a bunch more team fights after this. It was 190 to 245. Like they had 3 other attempts.
To be honest, if this spawn's available or there's somebody's not hard blocking, Brandon just needs to be holding the back there anyway, and this situation never happens. You know what I mean? He has a guy pushed out front. There's no point for him to not be. I think he just was like putting his controller down. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
It's an awkward one, but you know, at the end of the day, then just got to a gritty last map and
get the dub.
Right to Brandon and Merc, they popped off in that raid S&D, and Optic played not their best COD, but you know, they still close it out.
All right, so Ben, who's your final stock up?
Final stock up. Well, I think this one's obvious considering we just had, you know, his Orgona come on here and say 6 teams are interested. I think we got to put Alluka at 1. Bro, this guy was the real winner on Sunday. He had thousands of people watching. He had the Aches PR machine. He had the Dashy PR machine. He had the Shotzi PR machine the next morning.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I know people in my chat. Shots of ball knowers in my chat who were putting this guy on my radar in the spring of this year, like EU. Yeah, there's a couple of challengers people that EU guys that are in my chat. They're like, yo, this Alluka kid, he's turning 18. He's going to be playing CCL next year. Like, keep your eye on him. Like, he's gross. But
Trying
like,
to find
obviously, I didn't expect him to like get on OMiT and then get first and him to drop bombs against G. Like, I think what really gave people exposure is he cooked essentially what I would consider basically a pro team.
Yeah,
like
I mean, these guys were in the league.
Big Waken now. Yeah, like those guys are all former pros, and he embarrassed them. That series. Yeah,
I mean, the kid's screen is absurd. Like, obviously, I haven't watched too much of him, but just like watching this, seeing some of the reactions, some of the shots he was hitting. The clip where like Dashy was watching him, he rips the guy off the plane, heady, and then like pushes up, rips another guy. He does have an insane amount of talent, and honestly, like, yeah, he is number 1 stock up. He might have the highest stock in terms of like people talking about him, gassing him, other than Mercules right now. Like, it's like Mercules, Dan Ghosty, and this guy. Like, he really has a lot of hype coming in, bro. But yeah, is that your final one, Ben? Oh shit, my head's
that's my final one. That's what I got.
Cool. All right, so my stock up, obviously I had Snoopy as the 3rd. Second one, Xnid. Xnid this weekend was balling, bro. Had some huge plays. Obviously, everybody was kind of out on the Falcons roster. You know, a lot of people saying like, oh, this team just wasn't gonna be good, and a lot of them were putting that on Xnid. But I thought he delivered, Ben. He played really well and rose to the occasion. I think he's developing.
Yeah, I think for Xnid, it's, you know, he still needs to find his game sometimes. I do think that his default reaction, like most players, is take that chow. And there have been a couple times this year where he's put his team in a tough spot because he hasn't won that crazy gun fight. I think his search has been up until, well, no, I think he was played good in S&D in both matches.
He would just lose them some rounds last year in search where it's like, I'm not seeing
some stupid shit. Yeah, he made a play week 1 where he like planted the bomb on Den and just chowed out the fucking back of P4 and just instantly just bled himself instead of, you know, playing off his team that was holding the front. I think for Xnid, the key thing for me, and will dictate, to be honest, whether or not he holds down a pro spot long term, same thing as Paco, is mastery of English. Listening comprehension, understanding English and reacting off that information, verbalizing the thoughts in your head and being able to small talk in English. Not just, if you're listening to our comms now, he doesn't really small talk, barely small talks. And the listening comprehension, his arrow's a little better. You can tell that he's reacting to some callouts, but not all callouts. So once he masters all 3 of those, I think that's the thing. That's the thing that he's most got to work on in terms of also the COD knowledge.
But I agree with that 100%. That's the next step in his evolution to becoming like a top player in this league. I will say though, like his arrow, and when you watch him play hardpoint, it is night and day from last year coming into this year.
Way better.
It is way better. I don't know what that's a credit to, if that's Celium or Kismet or Clayster, whoever it is, but they got him playing some ethical ball now for the most part. I mean, he still has the moments where he'll go rogue and like take a chow like he shouldn't, but more often than not, that's when he's already on like a 4 or 5 streak. And the way he ended this map, pull this up, versus Boston, he went on a 10 streak at the end. And what was awesome about it was set up by Pred. So now these guys are kind of working in tandem. Like Pred had an early rotation, like Cerebral play. You know, sometimes like you got to take some stuff off of Xnid's plate as he starts to develop. Like Pred's got to be the guy doing that alongside Kismet to make it a little bit easier for him. And that's what you saw there, which I thought was great for the Falcons team and great for Xnid, because then he follows that up with positioning, with spawns, getting a 10 streak, close out the game. Like that's the vision. That's what you want with this team. And then eventually they'll all be doing those things. But yeah, Xnid is just capitalizing on the good opportunities that his team's providing for him right now. And I think that he had a great weekend because obviously his name's going to be every time the Falcons don't play well or they start to lose, he's going to be the guy that everybody points the finger at. So I thought it was good for him. And then number one on my stock up, I had Dan Ghosty. We talked about him already a lot. Dan Ghosty's stock is through the roof right now. I mean, you beat the team that dropped you. You absolutely dunked on him. I mean, he was more positive than Kenny even had kills, who was his direct replacement. Dan Ghosty's stock is through the roof, and really the Gentlemate's stock is through the roof. So that's my number one stock up.
I like it. I agree. Dan is playing MVP ball right now, so let's see if he can maybe be our major one MVP in this split.
Good. All right, but yeah, that's this episode. We're gonna do a Q&A, a couple of questions from the chat.
We don't want to do stock down.
Oh yeah, totally forgot about that. Stock down.
Yeah, I'll say we.
All right, I got one that's not on the list, man. I'm gonna throw up. Okay, the number one stock down is the GA chat.
Ooh, yes.
Number one stock all the way down. We already talked about it. We're not gonna have a huge conversation about the GA chat, but just know we don't respect you guys anymore because there has to be things have to happen when people break your guys' rules that you're making everybody else play, by the way. So yeah, number one stock down for me is the GA chat. The depths of hell. I agree. Scraps driving skills, absolutely, all the way down. Ben, what's your first stock down?
My first stock down is all of these like absolute mid-tier ARs that are getting smoked in the league right now. There's about 5 guys. Lunars, Beans, Reese, Nero, Slasher, and Ken. All of them for various reasons are kind of, I've grouped them all because for all the various reasons are in a spot where I'm not surprised that people are looking at Neat and Alluka and Brack and like all of them are in tricky spots. Someone said draws, like Zach obviously wasn't playing good till the last match. He's kind of like, these ARs, listen, like there's a lot of young ARs in challengers right now frying. So
yeah,
y'all get to, because I think a lot of teams are gonna be, some of those guys are gonna be cycling out after
this. You can see what Ben is kind of referring to here is a lot of the I agree with you. The mid-pack AR, their stock is way down. There's too many players. Oh, am I sharing the wrong thing?
Yeah, it's sharing your Discord DMs right now.
Well, it's your link. Somebody's gonna be pulling your OBS Ninja.
You're good.
All right. Is it working now? Yeah, there we go. All right. So I see what Ben's saying here. The mid-pack ARs, just because there's so many available in challengers, there's gonna be a bullseye on a lot of these guys. I mean, you can see Kenny down here, draws even, Lunars, Slasher, Skies, Nero. Yeah, I mean, these guys are gonna have to start performing, man. I think that's a really good one. Because I will say though, with this patch, subs got a lot better going forward. So it's even going to be harder for some of these AR players that are underperforming right now. But yeah, they got to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I have them there. I mean, it just some of them are not going to be in the mix, bro. Some of them are going to be out of here by major one. Some of them may be able to hold their spots and better performances, but
yep. My number 2 stock down was the Carolina rookies. And you know me, I've been a big fan of shout out Blev, thank you, man. Here, let me get to the Carolina team page. I've been a big fan of Craze and kind of like his come up. Not playing the greatest right now, and obviously I think it's a team situation. Lurks as well. The rookies, they need to be having more of an impact. Like I get like Nero and Slash aren't playing great, but they got to be able to get them some wins, right? Like if you want to have time in this league, you have to be able to perform. And it's like, I know Nero and Slash are playing great, but they're not the absolute worst players to be around you. So there's some responsibility on these two as well. It's not all just like, oh man, we got to drop Slasher. Like, yeah, these guys, and I've heard a couple of things as well that I'm not going to say from the camp. Like these guys gotta lock in and get on the same page and work a little bit harder. So yeah,
say that I've heard the same things. I think these guys are talented. They have a lot to learn, and they got to lock in and be able to learn. Otherwise, people are going to come and take your spot again, bro, and you're going to be back in challengers.
Absolutely. So their stock's down. And then the last one, wait, give me your next one.
My second one, this is a good one. Had a bit of a crash out this weekend. I got to put Doug Sensor Martin here, man. I don't know.
Where's this clip, bro?
What was going to happen with the situation? Did Doug think that he was like his next red team with him, O'Johnny, Standy, and Connor, I think was their Diamond Con was their fourth. think.
Yeah. Where did they?
What did he think was going to happen here? I'm confused. I know they beat Falcons in the preseason tournament. That was typical, but like, bro, Doug had an all-time crash out after they.
Where is this clip?
It's been tweeted. You can also go to his VOD. Like, it's at the end. But for those that, Ant pulls up the clip, basically, like, they didn't play well in the cup. They got bopped by Huntsman. 3-0 smoked. The end of that third map, they were all tilting. The map ends and Doug kicks them all out of the call. Does his outro, ends his stream. I guess they're now like playing not with Doug anymore. But like, yeah, stock down because like, what are we doing, Doug? Like,
I can't find the
never
clip,
going to end in
man.
tears. Like, what are we doing here, bro?
I wish I could find this clip, but it was amazing. I watched it yesterday.
It's on Twitter. If not, you can go to his VOD and find it, guys. Like, it's
yeah. You guys can find it. But basically, he rages and he just boots them all from the TeamSpeak server.
That's insane maneuver. It's really funny though.
Yeah, Doug stocks down right now. Unfortunately for Doug, he started off the year on a massive high. I think it was the Falcons. They won that match. And since then, yeah, Doug, he's had enough, man. Yo, sometimes you get a little bit older, playing with these youngins. You're like, man, fuck this. I'm over it. That's kind of the moment that he had.
Bro, what? Doug, if Doug was... Listen, you can't change the past. But if I were Doug, after Black Ops 4, I would have used the fact that none of these people coming in knew what the fuck they were doing and gotten a ownership role in one of these teams. He could have been in a management spot by now.
Yeah. Like
mentoring people, building teams on a bigger org if he had played it like that way off the rip. Instead of trying to compete on a C9 team, or sorry, on that Subliners team, which, to be honest, those guys didn't want to team with them.
Yeah, but Doug's thing has always been, at least during that span, is he wanted to compete. He wanted to do some like crazy thing, like never been done before, and come back. You know, that's kind of always his mentality. He's just a unique guy. So I don't know if there's anything he should have done, quote unquote.
I would use a word that starts with D and ends with L, but sure.
Delusional?
You want to put it that way?
I mean, listen, like, you can have that take, but I think it's like, I'm not going to tell anybody what they should have done, because Doug's done great for himself, and I think he's had just different plans. But yeah, I mean, this crash out was hilarious.
It's a good crash out. So I'm curious what Doug's going to do now. If he's just going to run point his next red thing, like, I'm curious what his next move is here.
And then the final stock down that I have is LA Thieves. Stock down, bro. And all of them, not just Kenny, bro. I know the community's instantly coming at Kenny. Their whole stock's down. The organization, the decision to drop Ghosty in particular, and that loss, they got pummeled. I got their stocks down, and they're gonna have to earn their respect back. Come out and on the other side of this break, absolutely shooting. So yeah, that'll be an ongoing story that me and Ben will be talking about throughout the season. But yeah, as it stands right now, of the super teams, they probably got the lowest stock in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, I had the same, like, bro. Now with this supposed Alluka news, and I've been trying to text people to figure out this is like actually real. Like, I don't know if it's
the
a
6 teams
ongoing rogue situation. Yeah, this Alluka to Faze angle. Like, what is it? Is it real? Like, if Thieves miss out on this guy and one of their rival teams gets him, whether in a sub role or maybe, and they get better, it's like, what's the plan now if you eventually drop Ken? Like, the Morgan Ferrer coming this season, we already talked to. They rotated Ken out. They were going to have to make some tough decisions. Now it's like, man, if you miss out on him like that, oof, I don't know. They need to maximize next 3 weeks. And can I make one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to tell people how to live their lives, especially around the holidays, because family's important. But the Paco teams are usually one of the teams that take some time off during these 3 weeks.
Yeah, and they come out the other side slow.
Like, yes. I don't know if you need to have a convo as a team about how we want to navigate that period this year, because they need to catch up on some things.
Yeah, I mean, people got to be selfless here, right? It comes back to what I talked about earlier, where one, I think Paco needs to be a little more complimentary to his SMG duo. Truly believe that. And that is outside the game as well. Some people have to make some sacrifices. And if you're the LA Thieves, this is one of those points, bro, where you just got cooked. I got to catch up. You can't come out. That team emotionally, mentally, like, they cannot go into this major and get like a 5th, 6th, bro. Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, they cannot do that. The Thieves team has to be they have to be a player on Sunday. And then to Ben's point, they're just in a precarious spot because if somebody does, if one of these other teams gets Alluka and becomes just like way better, and then it's like Genomate's Optic them, and Thieves is the odd one out. Oh my God, this would be. We could see it all come crashing down. Really
and the problem is, I'm gonna say this, and again, like, I just don't know if Paco and Ernie are like mature enough to get their team out. Why is Tommy poking me in TeamSpeak, bro? He knows I'm live right now.
I don't know, but like, also I've seen a message in chat where it's like hitting the panic button after 3 matches. No, guys, these are real scenarios that we're talking about. It's not that like they need to panic. They just need to be decisive in what their plan is going forward. Like, we commit to this team, all right, well then they need to grind. You can't be losing like that. I mean,
no, they got lock in.
This is the reality of the situation. Like, it is what it is. Figure it out. What up, Tom? My boy. Where you at, man? Pop in here. We're in your Discord.
My bad. No, Cap. You're Cap. You knew I was live and you came in here and poked me a million times. Nah, I'm calling bullshit.
Tom, we're wrapping.
You know exactly what you were doing, bro.
Tom, we're wrapping this up, dude. If you're bored, pop on in. We're gonna do some Q&As.
Yeah, we're in your Discord, bro. If you want to come in.
We covered a lot, dude. Covered a lot.
I did not know you guys were in a show. That's my bad.
What up, T?
I didn't realize, man. What's good, Nick? Hey, congratulations, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
Talk about that, man. Congrats,
yeah, man.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna be a father, man.
I'm gonna be a dad, man. I'm excited, bro. We're excited. It's gonna be awesome,
bro. You're gonna be a great dad, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Phenomenal dad. Do you have the Bears onesie already purchased? Like, what's going on here? Like,
I'm telling you, the Bears propaganda that is gonna be spread to my child is gonna be insane. But my child has to understand the struggle that the Bears have went through when they're reigning Super Bowls as my kid grows into their young self.
0 playoff wins.
We talked about a lot.
Everything, Tom.
We had Rafi on.
Your new roster, Tom. We haven't talked about your new roster.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
So since we've been doing this show, and I'll link the tweet here for you and in the chat.
Thank you, Grizz.
Stallions Red announced a new roster. It is Colt Havoc, Swoody, and Courage and Legend. So
let me pull this up. Hold up.
So 2 new players coming in. I know Dylan Attach will also be coaching this as well, but I assume while Colt waits for rank play to come out, he's going to be mentoring some young guns here, and I think there's a lot of talent on the squad with Golden Child, Swoot, and Courage. Obviously, we've guessed a lot.
I fuck with this team, man. Look, we got
this team, man?
Yes, because one, I know Legend's going to get developed to a good point with this team.
Yep.
Because
that's the whole point.
Yeah, developing him, and then it's really good to put Colt on this team as well, because Colt's an absolute shooter, and he's gonna want to grind, and he's gonna be able to help these guys like get to the next level.
Do you guys know who the head coach is?
Who's the head coach?
Dylan Attach. Dylan Attach is coming in. He's gonna be the head coach. He's gonna be coaching the boys.
Let's
every
go.
day. He's gonna be coaching them and helping them out.
Well, you're gonna have to too, though.
No, I'm going to be there helping them for sure. I mean, I'm always in there, like, helping as much as I could. But I do want to say this, bro, and I don't know what you guys think. I do not like the way that Vancouver Surge has handled the Legend situation at all this year. I don't like it. I don't like the way they handled it.
What do you mean, like dropping them, or?
No, just the way they're handling it. I didn't like Gwyn's tweets after they were losing maps. I didn't like his tweets. I didn't like the way that the coach was tweeting, doom if you do, doom if you don't. Brother, you picked up a guy who knows nothing about COD and paired him up with 3 other guys who've never won anything ever in COD. Literally ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're pairing him with, like, vets of the game who've actually been there, done that, won before, and know what it takes to actually win. Right? Like, the overall composition of the team from day one made absolutely 0 sense.
Yeah.
And now you're just dropping him to the curb after 2 weeks. You basically pick this guy up. And from my knowledge, okay, from the things I've been hearing, I don't even think they were really helping him that much. Like, I don't know if they were really
like doing like individual VOD reviews, shit like that.
I don't know. I mean, bro, based on some of the stuff I was seeing, I know Legend. He's a smart guy. He's not a dumb guy. He's a smart player. Like, there's certain things that he's doing that I know I could just help him with right off the bat. Like, just by watching him in just a few matches in the CDL. Like, there's certain things that he's doing that I think will help him a lot.
So,
and
Tom,
there's no shot at Gwyn, Abe, Lunars, at any of them. It's just facts, right? Like, they're not like vets of the game. Like, they don't even know how to win yet. Like,
no, that's what I was saying. So that's what I was gonna say to that, Tom, is they just don't have anybody who can do that. So I 100% agree with you. Like, off the rip, the roster construction was awful. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like hate them dropping him, because I think this is gonna be good for him. Like, now he's on your team where you can actually get like a way better, where time can be put in, and you are allotted time to make mistakes and challengers. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to make mistakes and not be there.
Legend will gain confidence by being in challengers and playing against that type of level, right? So he can like learn the game and like understand how to play and like where he needs to be, where he needs to put himself to actually start winning maps and stuff. And he'll only get better and gain more confidence as time goes on. I'm not critiquing Vancouver dropping him. I'm just critiquing them on how they handled everything, like just how they like handled the whole situation. Like I just didn't like how they like handled all that, because I feel like you just kind of put Legend in like a bad spot. But I think this is better for Legend. I think it's better for everybody. It's better for Vancouver. It's better for Legend. It's going to be better for everyone. But let me tell you something, bro. Vancouver ain't just going to magically be a top 6, top 4
they're not just going to turn a corner. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, they're not. Exactly. Like, they also have to look themselves in the mirror and understand that they also don't know what the fuck they're doing on the map.
Yeah.
And
like,
also with a young guy like this, and I think this is what, Tom, you're trying to say too, is like, you got to protect like the young guy or the guy that's just coming in, right? Like obviously Legend's got a lot of pressure. He's brand new. He doesn't have like 1/10 of the reps the rest of the guys have. Like I understand Gwyn's frustration as a player. At the same time, I see what you're saying. Like you have to protect that guy and be like, yo, it's not his fault. Like as a team, we weren't playing well. The coach and Gwyn and them probably could have handled it better. So now that he's on your team, I know you feel probably a little protective of him. And I agree with that sentiment for sure. But I am just glad that early on he's just found himself in a way better spot, because all those guys end up getting really, like, all the Hail players that have come over, like they've ended up becoming pretty good. And Renegade's playing good too.
TJ, right? They picked up TJ.
Well, that's the rumor. I mean, that is the rumor right now. We're rolling.
But they did that last year and it was ass, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't like it was like anything crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, you pick up TJ, but, you know, I mean, it'll definitely help because Legend still has so much to learn. Like, TJ obviously is a vet. Like, TJ can help those guys, right? That's one thing I do like about TJ. Like, TJ would have been good with Legend.
Yeah, he would have been good with Legend.
You know
I
mean?
yeah.
He would have been good with Legend. Like, TJ would have been a perfect guy to slot in with him. But instead, you're dropping, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, the way that they're composing the team just doesn't really make any sense. Guys, I don't give a fuck. The rumor's TJ. They're saying leak. I don't give a fuck. The rumor's TJ.
It makes sense for TJ. It's familiarity with Gwyn. TJ's obviously been playing pretty good. Like, it's probably going to be Tej. And to that point, though, if they would have made like a 2-person change, Tom, like, probably would have moved the needle a little bit more. Because, like, with just dropping Legend, you are kind of saying, like, oh, this guy was the sole reason we were losing, and we're just going to put a Band-Aid on it. Like, if they would have released Lunars and Legend, I think it might have made a little bit more sense.
For sure. I mean, we'll see what obviously happens. Like, I think Vancouver will definitely get better from this. I'm happy that Abe has like a vet in there to kind of help him, because Abe was another one. He came from the Stallions. I think so highly of Abe. Like, I think Abe is a really good player, and I feel like he hasn't really gotten a fair shot to really show people like how good he actually is. So I think TJ being in there will help him. Like, I think it'll be a good situation for him, a little bit better than what he was just in. But I don't know if they're gonna be like fighting for like top 4, like top 3. Like, I don't know if they're gonna be in that realm.
But Tom, they're in this spot. Tom, they're in this spot where it's like, so we were talking about this yesterday, but stage 1 and stage 2 are so important, especially stage 2, because you play all 11 teams. Like, you have to play well in stage 2 for points going forward. So like they need to get a jump on that. So like, yeah, I mean, something had to happen. Whether it's a 1-person change, I don't know, but they can't just be losing out. I want to get your take though, Tom, before you bounce. Earlier on the show in the beginning, we had Rafi on, and he said, and basically he basically confirmed that on the other side of this break, Alluka will be on a pro team. And he also said 6 teams have reached out for Alluka. What's your thoughts on that? That's insane, bro.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Listen, the guy just turned 18, 2 days ago? Or sorry, 2 months ago? He apparently he just turned 18 like less than 2 months ago. But based on like I've been asking around, been asking people, apparently he just turned 18. The fact that he has 6 CDL offers when he just turned 18 is phenomenal.
Crazy.
And I was even saying it to my chat. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Dashy, Shotzi, Sam, me, everybody, Slaya, right, Pat? Why do you think we were all able to see, like, how do we all know this guy's good? What has he been doing the last couple months to show us that he's good? He's been streaming.
Yeah,
he's been
you gotta stream, bro. You gotta put it out there.
All the other challenger players are saying, "Oh, you're a content team. Oh, you just make content. Oh, you're off on the street." This, that. Okay, well, brother, guess what? You've been in challengers for 7 years, and a guy who just turned 18 is already getting a spot because he's not scared to show his face and showcase himself to everybody out there. He's not scared to showcase his fucking talent, bro. Right? So it's like, I'm happy for the guy. He put in the work. He turned the stream on, and he showed everybody what he can do on a map. And people are seeing it. Like, people are actually seeing this shit. And that's why. So the reason why I'm saying this whole content team shit is because people attack us for being a content team in quotes. And I'm like, bro, you got to understand, like us having the streams on with thousands of people and doing this shit, like helps. It helps.
Yeah, it helps 100%.
It helps the players who are playing for us. It helps the people we're playing against. Like it helps everybody. So when I hear challenger players, which there has been challenger players behind the scenes just calling us a joke or calling us like a content team, but those people are brain dead and they're never gonna get out of challengers.
Never gonna get out of challengers. It's how we all got brought up.
Bro, look at the Barstool guys. Look at the Barstool guys. What happened the last couple of weeks, right? They did the monster tournament. They didn't turn their streams on for it. It became a whole thing.
Yeah,
and that among other reasons why some of those guys. I mean, I'm waiting for next owners meeting, the Bush guys, because they're going to be making roster changes if teams getting called up, and I think they'll have a lot to say. But I agree, Tom. We've said time and time again for years for these guys, just turn a stream on. You don't even need face cam.
How the hell am I supposed to know if you're good without you being live? Like,
yeah, we've been doing this with the Stallions for years now. I mean, I've been in Challengers streaming this stuff for years. Now to see like so many people coming into it, like, bro, this is just better for the scene overall. Like having Huntsman in there, having Bush in there, right? Having OMiT, Next Threat, having all these teams that are like making content and streaming. This is good for everyone. This literally, there is no negative to this at all. Literally at all.
Yeah, there's no negative. And it's just gonna be more eyes, bro. And if you're actually playing well, it's just a higher likelihood of getting a shot. I mean, it's just that is what it is when teams struggle. I mean, we've talked about this for years, Tom. Like, if you're down there, bro, you got to be going live, not only for your future, but like for the rest of the organizations to see what you're doing, and you got to put it out 100%. there. Like you're not just gonna get picked up. Like if you're signed, and that's another thing somebody brought up, like Brack. Like I know Brack's been playing really, really well. Is he live? Has he been live every day for the last couple of years? I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can answer that for me.
No, but he has. Brack is one of those situations where I feel like he didn't get a fair stint because he had a stint in the league like years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe people were just like holding him accountable to like what he did years ago. But listen, being somebody who had Brack on the Stallions and he literally got us an EWC key. He also took down a CDL team at EWC.
Yeah.
Right. He has been at the top of challenges for years. And it's not like he's like putting up bad numbers. His numbers have been insane for years. I don't know how old he is. Maybe people just don't want to pick him up because he's maybe on the older side and they don't see like a future with him. But I mean, like somebody in the chat said, bro's 30. I don't think he's 30. I don't know how old he actually. Does anybody actually know how old
I can figure it out.
I don't know how old he is. But he's been in Challengers front for so many fucking years. I'm like, bro, at this point, like somebody's got to give him a shot.
He's 26.
Like, somebody should get him in there. 26? I mean, fuck it, man. I mean, Merc was what, 23, 22? When
I mean, Super's like 25.
Yeah, no, if you're 26, like I think with Brack is just politicking a little bit. Like, I think it's, you know, like he has to. This combination of he's got this reputation and he's got to politic a bit more to get over the reputation. He gets his foot in the door so we can get a spot on one of these teams. We had Rafi on earlier kind of talking about this because I think right now, Rafi was on here earlier, Tom, and saying that Brack is the best player in Challengers.
Yeah, that's literally what he said straight up.
Bro, I've been saying this for years, how good Brack is. I've said it on Flank episodes. I'm like, dude, Brack has been playing good for years. Like, I was talking to Los Savals yesterday because we were like, bro, when we had Brack on our team, he was godlike. Like, every time we watched the Stallions boys, like, he was literally, like, he was nuts. Like, so consistent, bro. Consistently.
So what is the hesitance like for, like, a surge to just go grab Brack?
I think they're brain dead. It's the only.
Is that the only like what? Because like Tom, if
they know what they're doing.
If we were running the surge and our team went 0-9 map count, we're gonna sit down in a room and look at each other like, okay, we gotta drop 2 guys. Who are we picking up? Like this is how it is. Okay, Brack's been frying. Bring him in as an AR. Like it's really not that complicated. Like, it truly isn't.
No, I would keep changing shit up until you find something that works. I mean, look at what Toronto did years ago when they trialed like 10 players. Remember when Toronto trialed?
Yeah, they had a 10-man roster and it ended up working.
They found a lot of great players and they made a great team. Like they made a phenomenal team from that, and they found a lot of good players. Like people, they don't even give themselves a chance. Like they really don't. And bro, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think their mentality is where it needs to be based off some of the tweets that I'm seeing. Like you gotta be focused up here. You gotta be focused. Like if you're always like if you're tweeting like some of the shit that I've been seeing, bro, like that's also a problem in itself. Get these guys a therapy coach or get the what's the fucking
No, if you didn't say that, that's what I was about to say. You have to have a guy in your camp that like, because we know Gwyn can kind of be emotional sometimes, and you know obviously that tweet, like I understand his frustration. There needs to be somebody there to work with him with that stuff.
No, 100%.
Like seriously, bro.
You used to be me with Tom, bro. Tom, how many times I tell you to delete a tweet?
Yeah, a lot. But my tweets were me talking shit to other people. It wasn't me roasting my team. I didn't tweet out like.
Yeah, it never got that bad. But
no, I never tweeted out like, yo, what the fuck is Clay doing on a map? Like, what the hell's going on? I mean, I know Gwen didn't say that to that extent, but I mean, Gwen's tweet was basically like, dude, I don't know what else I need to do.
He basically said, I'm looking left and right, my team's ass. Point blank. That's what he said.
Yeah, like he implied it. Like he implied that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I for me, bro, like they gotta fix their mental so they can actually like lock in, and because Gwen's a good player, bro. Good. Gwen probably is the most talented player on that team, right?
Yeah,
like
I agree.
He probably is. All right. In terms of just a slang potential, like slang power, like Gwen is insane. Like he's really fucking.
You're asking
good.
for your leader to be Gwen though, and that's just like he's never showed those qualities. Ever.
No, he's not a leader. Yeah. He's not a leader, bro. I don't think Gwen or Abe are really leaders in this situation. I don't think they need to be leaders. That's why I do like TJ coming in, because I think TJ will help him with that. But I don't think it's gonna fix everything. And I still think they're gonna have a lot to work on. And a lot of it starts with the mental, in my opinion.
No, I agree with that 100%.
All right, boys, I'm gonna dip out of here, but I love seeing the Codcast back. Love this.
Dude, we're back, man. Yeah, thanks for popping in, Tom.
On, go.
All right, boys. I'll catch you guys later.
Take it easy, bro.
Salute.
Yo, shout out to Tomasi hopping in here, absolute legend of the scene, homie, and gave some great perspective. And shout out to the Stallions. Hopefully they perform well. And honestly, guys, gotta give Tomasi some credit, man. We gotta give him some credit. I mean, going down and instantly swooping up Legend. 1, great for the esport. 2, awesome for Legend. The perspective he provided on everybody going live and creating content. I saw some negative messages in the chat talking about people trying to do stuff for content, whatever. Guys, this is what this is built off of. This is an entertainment space, and there needs to be eyes on these young players. So stop being brain rot, toxic, spamming that dumb shit. What are you guys watching right now? You're watching content. What do you guys want to watch? You want to watch challengers. You want to watch these guys, their talent be displayed, and that doesn't happen without the people at the top pressuring them into doing so. So yeah, we'll just put that out there like that. But let's get to some questions from the chat. Let's answer a few questions. You guys can just put them in there, and if you want to direct it, we might
need to do call-ins and future episodes. I think we might need to do the call-ins.
Yeah, we'll bring the call-ins back.
We gotta bring them back, bro.
Yeah, the call-ins were great. But let's do like 5 or 6 questions, and if there's one in particular for Ben or me, just put our @ in the message as well.
Oh, I see a good one. Thoughts on Renegade? I'll start. I think Renegade is getting better with every scrim. Like he's getting more used to the flow of COD. Like how to fill gaps. Like he's a high IQ player. He's understanding what needs to be communicated. Give him another month, 2 months, and yeah, if he's frying, I could see him getting picked up for sure.
Yeah, I gotta watch a little bit more of the Huntsman. But from what I've been hearing, especially talking to Zin a little bit yesterday, is that he's developing to a good spot. But yeah, so I'll have to watch a little bit more of them and see where he's at. I wouldn't be surprised if his jersey gets called soon. If you were Alluka, do you sign a sub spot or a starting spot only? Good question. I would only sign a starting spot. I would only sign a starting spot unless it was like a very rich offer from a top team and I knew I'm undeniable. Like, I mean, if like a Thieves comes in and offers you a spot with like matching the salary on a bottom tier team that's offering you a spot, then maybe. Right. So there's a lot of context involved there. I do hope, and after talking to Rafi, I feel a bit better. I do hope he has like a good camp that's helping him with these decisions. Because as a young guy who's just turning 18, you don't really know like how this business and this industry works yet. Right. So, yeah, I think we're all rooting for the kid. Hopefully he winds up in the right spot. But yeah,
I agree.
There's context involved in that question. All right.
I see one from Turtle. Do you like the format this year with every stage being different, or should they all be uniform? I'd say it should be the standard going forward. I mean, and I probably would love to see pro-ams every event. I think every I event. Don't mind though, like I don't mind with how monotonous, like how boring online COD can be by the middle of the year. Like I don't mind with the way that they're approaching the middle of the season. It does create some interesting flow as like, you know, we're seeing right now, like Major 2 is going to be probably the most important split of the year because of the volume of CDL points
without question
on offer to everybody. But I don't mind it. If online COD's going to be a portion of what we're doing, like I don't hate that they're trying to A/B test stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like just to kind of expand upon that a bit because I think Ben hit it, but I like splits being different. Like I like how the second split's different. Like it just creates like a different story. I think last year when you added the minor tournaments, that was a nice step in the right direction. I just think the final portion is with challengers being so lit. Like we spent a majority of this episode talking about challengers. Like it's actually electric right now. There does need to be more pro-am stuff. Like we need to see. Like the proms are just like the best tournaments. Like that rally tournament was so good. Seen a couple more of those, and maybe one early on. I know you tweeted about that before, Ben, but I'm on the same page. Do you agree with Aches that having one player on your team getting smoked can compromise the other 3 players? I mean, yeah, but
yes and no.
But like you're saying, he was saying that in context of the LA Thieves, and in that context, I don't agree. Right? Because it was not just Kenny. It wasn't. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, you guys always say that about Kenny. Bro, Hydra's not play. He did not play that good. And like their win condition is not just Kenny or bust. Like that's not how the team operates, bro. Does he need to play better? Sure. But yeah, I mean, I would agree with the sentiment of the statement, but I don't agree in relation to the Thieves because I think there's more at play there. I don't like the way the sub duo was playing in that series. I thought Hydra didn't play well, and they just came out flat after that first map beatdown. You see any other good ones, Ben?
Bro, TP Rock saying, I'm surprised there's no noise about the idea of Toronto pulling the trigger on Alluka for insight. Bro, who's going to run? Bro, Alluka, if you watch his gameplay, like he is probably going to comp as like potentially at full-time SMG or flex style, but like putting him in the league and then making like Toby basically just block spawns and play super slow, like slow AR, like that role fit is super awkward for Toronto. That's why I think it doesn't really make sense.
Blessed by a monk. Yeah, I got a question for you, Nameless. More on production side. Do you see any current pros having the potential of following you and Apathy's? Well, Apathy doesn't do the talent stuff, but I get your question. Get involved in commentary / analytics on the CDL desk. Do you have anybody in mind that you're able to see being a great partner on the desk? Oh yeah, absolutely. Attach was one of them that I thought would be great, but obviously has content aspirations, wants to do that full time, which he's doing great. There's a couple of people I think that would be pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously there's some active players they're still playing. I think would be awesome in their future. Obviously, I think Kenny would be an awesome person.
Can Ghosty.
Yeah, I mean, in the future, Dan would be great. I mean, yeah, there's some good personalities, man.
Caesar, honestly, Caesar's a lucky one.
Caesar would be funny.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that have a really they're just well spoken on how they like communicate the ideas and what's required from you in a spot. So we'll love to see more.
Yeah, Slack did it before too.
Take the step.
Slack had an event doing it before.
He did it in the beginning of March for 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But all right, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. It's a long episode, 2 minutes or 2 hours, 12 minutes. This was a fun one, man.
Banger.
Have you guys been enjoying it? Because I think this was an absolute banger. We're trying to put out some good content for you guys. Me and Ben are inspired right now. We're locked in. Shout out to Ben. He does a lot of content, so he's
I'm out here grinding, bro.
Yeah, Ben's out here grinding everywhere.
But now we're getting to like the slow. Like, what am I gonna do for 3 weeks, Ant? Like,
we're gonna do another show next week.
There's no league match. Yeah, we'll do another one next week. But it's like,
I got
the 3 week break is a momentum. I gotta figure out. It's tough with the momentum, bro.
It's not a problem, man. I tell you, I got some stuff planned. I love doing this, and I'm inspired. So yeah, this will be up on Spotify. It'll be up on YouTube. Make sure you guys leave a like, and for your audio listeners, like it as well. Get that out there. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good holiday break, and yeah, watch some challenges, guys. It's gonna be fun. Take it easy, everybody.
Good show.
Dang, it was a great show. It's fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it to run this long, but
yeah. We'll keep it shorter going forward, but there was just so much. I'm gonna send you guys all over to Ben. You saying live?
Word. Yeah, I'm saying live for a bit.
All right, guys, take it easy. It'll be on YouTube by tonight. Oh wait, let me shout out a couple people real quick. Let me mute. Yo, shout out to Grizz for the 10 gifted. Shout out to Bleb for the 5 gifted. Fucking real ones, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for the gifted. We're growing. Community's getting bigger, and I do appreciate it, man. Those are 2 of my boys. Thank you guys. And shout out to Coop for the tier 1. Appreciate y'all.